Chapter 61 Opponent. As the wind turns clear, the heart of the wind is getting more and more shocking. What Yi Yuan said just now, even if it is clear with the wind, it is not bad. You must know that there is only a large view of the warehouse on the light curtain. Those herbs can only be seen, and some even cannot be seen at all. At least the wind is invisible. However, Yi Yuan actually only looked at the light curtain, and guessed the medicinal herbs that the two women had to refine. How did he do it? Haha, the wind girl doesn't have to be afraid of offending our two old men. What do you say? Our temperament has not been so small. Since it is better than the old grandson, it is natural to divide it up. Fenger and Can there is always a good or bad point in the refining of the medicinal herbs. The wind girl does not have to worry about it, just say it. Wang Jinfu knew that if the wind was clear, he would not be guilty on both sides, so he said that the two women had become a tie. In fact, no matter how close the strength of the two peoples Dan Dao, the final refining of the immortality is not exactly the same, because there are too many factors affecting Cheng Dan. If the wind is sunny and shallow, I will say, the president and the grandson of the king cannot blame the little woman. Where, since you are pleased to judge this, naturally there is no reason to blame you. Sun Jianming, who has been silent, also spoke. In fact, the Fenger girl and the girl are very good. The strength of the two is not the same, but the Fenger girl has some small flaws in the process of refining, which leads to a slightly worse quality of the drug. This tiger's color is slightly faint, when there is a small mistake in the process of quenching in the first step. Feng Ruqing said just right. Ha ha ha, Wang Jinfu burst into laughter and laughed. There was nothing wrong with his face. I didn't expect the old grandson to cultivate your disciples. It seems that you are a successor. Feng eat one. If you go back, you have to be more careful. Don't you know that because it's my disciple, I'm arrogant, do you understand? Feng children understand. Shu Fenger Yingying a blessing, it seems quite depressed. Well, the time is almost the same, the next batch begins. Wang Jinfu ordered. The medicinal herbs refining by others are naturally judged. The two elders, Wang and Sun, are noble and will not condescend to do such things. Among the people in this group, the most eye-catching nature belongs to Wan Yuan. I have to say that Wan Yuan has a proud capital on Dandao. He is only a few months older than Yi Yuan, but he already has the strength of a senior Dantu. He is definitely a person of the same age, and his future achievements are probably no less than his father. Hey, if the wind is clear and windy, I will let you see what is the real Dandao genius. That Yi Yuan is just a jumping clown. When I step into the Danshi, I am afraid that you are popular. Not tempted. Wan Yuan secretly. He is also full of energy, want to show off in front of the wind, let her look at themselves. Looking at the wind and Yi Yuan eyebrows, Wan Yuan's heart is not a taste. Entering the drug storehouse, Wan Yuan selected the medicinal material at the fastest speed, and it was only a quarter of an hour after he came out of the drug store that other students came out from it. In this way, the judge is high. Wan Yuan's heart-thinking skills, the latter links are almost always in one go. Especially after he began to refine, his technique was dazzling and dazzling. Old son, it seems that Wan Lao has cultivated a good son and compared the two of our younger generations. Wang Jinfu is an old Dan Dashi, and his eyesight is naturally there. Seeing the performance of Wan Yuan refining medicinal herbs, he knew that Wan Yuan's strength was stronger than Shu Fenger and Sun Kejun. Yeah, Wan Donghai's kid really has two brushes. In the past few years, Yi Hang has been crushed to death. I didn't expect the son to be taught to be so powerful. If this continues, Wan Yuan will probably be blue. Quote, Sun Jianming has little to say, can give such a comment, obviously Wan Yuan's performance has conquered him. It is true. In my opinion, Wan Yuan's flowing clouds are afraid that there is already 70% of the fire in Wandonghai. What is lacking is only experience and realm. This will be a big tool in the future. Oh, like the son of Yi Hang, I am sensational, I don't know what it is. While Wang Jinfu gave a very high evaluation to Wan Yuan, he also despised Yi Yuan. Apparently he was very upset about Yi Yuan spoiling today. Every refining pharmacist has his own unique refining technique, and the flowing clouds are the famous stunts of Wan Donghai. The dialogue between Wang Jinfu and Sun Jianming did not deliberately cover up, and naturally spread into the ears of the wind and Yi Yuan. The leaves are calm and not much expressed. Instead, it was a gloating scene, and he said, "Hey, they praise your opponent so much, can you be so calm?" After experiencing the initial shock, the wind can only use the word, metamorphosis, to explain Yi Yuan's performance just now. However, deep inside, the wind has a certain expectation of Yi Yuan's performance. Maybe, can he really? Hearing the sound of the wind, Yi Yuan still has no expression on his face. The opponent. I never used him as an opponent. If it was before, the wind will definitely sneer at this statement. But now, the wind is so convinced that Yi Yuan may really think so. I have to know that Shu Fenger's little mistakes have not been seen by the two great Danes and aunts present, otherwise they will not engage in any competition. However, Yi Yuan has long seen it, and Shu Fenger and Sun Kejun have already judged the grade of their medicinal herbs in the process of refining. This is not something that ordinary people can do. The wind is convinced that even if Yi Yuan can't pass the Dan teacher's assessment, his vision is not comparable to the two great Danes. Can it be said that Yi Yuan's theoretical level is already comparable to Dan's? A 15-year-old boy has the level of Dan Wang. The wind was shocked by his own thoughts. Oh, I can really wear it. Although the heart has already agreed with Yi Yuan, the wind is still showing disdain. I don't know why, she just thinks that Yi Yuan is very angry. Perhaps she has been sought after since she was a child, and there has never been a reason why a man would be so disdainful to her. Seeing Yi Yuan did not respond, the wind said, "Hey, Yi Yuan, you said that I can still pass this assessment, is it true?" "Nature is true, I am not familiar with you at the joke." Yi Yuan said lightly. "Hey, what do you guys say?" The wind was smashed again. "Is it familiar to you?" Yi Yuan looked at the wind and said. I remembered that I was only able to meet Yi Yuan for the second time. It seems that I really can't talk about it. Not only are we not familiar, should we still be enemies? The face of the wind is red, knowing that Yi Yuan is still worried about that sword. "Yi Yuan, are you a man? How can such a small thing always hang on your lips?" "Little things, your sword almost came to my life. How much hatred is there between us?" Yi Yuan did not have a good air. The wind is ignorant of the loss, and it is not vocal. Chapter 62. The important thing is said 3 times. "Well, this lady is wrong, isn't it? You are a big man, you won't even have this amount of fat, will you remember this feud for a lifetime?" After a moment of silence, the wind finally couldn't stand the loneliness, but her apology sounded a little sincerity. "I am not vengeful, I am afraid that when I don't pay attention to offending you, miss, this little life will be gone. So, we still keep the distance better." Yi Yuan is really a little afraid of the wind. This girl is too capricious, may not be happy one day and then come to a sword. Yi Yuan cannot hide and then hide. He can ignore Dan's master, but he can't ignore the master. The wind is the third in the list. If it is really a sword, Yi Yuan said that it is not allowed to scream. The wind is so irritated by the leaves, and no one has ever said anything like this to her. As long as it is a man, regardless of his status, poverty and wealth, which one is not trying to approach her. But Yi Yuan is good, hiding her is too late. The wind has grown up in honeypots since childhood, and is still very vigilant about the approach of men. Someone used to pray in front of her, deliberately keep the distance and want to attract her attention. But she can feel that Yi Yuan really suspects that she is holding hands and does not want to approach her, which gives her a deep sense of frustration. "Hey, how do you want to follow you, but you first tell me why I can't pass the assessment. In fact, what I want to know most is this. Why should I tell you?" Yi Yuan turned his eyes, he had not seen the person asking for advice. "Hey, if you don't tell me, I will." The wind stunned and looked at Yi Yuan, and reached out and made a gesture of wiping the neck. Yi Yuan has a gust of gas, let him be the reincarnation of Dandy, the embodiment of the king of the gods, and now it is just a little novice. Undoubtedly, the trick is the most straightforward and most effective. Yi Yuan knows that this girl is not a person, she is really anxious, and she is not allowed to give herself a sword. He also wants to have a useful body to avenge, but he does not want to die so unclearly. Well, you won, Yi Yuan said helplessly. For the first time, the wind smashed back to the field in Yi Yuan. The whole person felt refreshed and showed a smug smile. Sure enough, this trick is good, Yi Yuan reluctantly said. Are you practicing the yang to the martial arts? Well, how do you know? The wind is different. Sure enough. A girl's family, what is the practice of yang to just? Is it an idiot? Yi Yuan stunned. Hey, can't you say something nice in your mouth? That must be seen to whom? You are so brain destroyed, you are sorry for you. The girl is born with a feminine, and the martial arts to the yang to the original method, you actually choose the Yanggong method, not what is brain damage. Quote. Hey, what about that? You want to say that you are not the top 3 in Wubang? Yi Yuan did not show his feelings and interrupted the show. He sneered. You can now hang the Dragon Brothers because of your skill level. High, and your realm is not high. After another 10 years, you will see the difference between you and the Dragon Brother. Others are eager to avoid weaknesses, but you are short-shouldered. Do you say that you are brain dead? Hey, don't you believe that I have killed you? Brain damage, important things say 3 times. You kill me, you don't want to break through the condensate scene in your life. Yi Yuan also fired, sneer. Hey, I believe you are strange. Even if I practiced the wrong method, and what does it mean to pass the examination of the refining pharmacist? Yi Yuan gas field came up, but the wind was stunned. The way of the world, nothing more than yin and yang. The spirit of the spirit is yin, you need the yin and cold to nourish, and you practice the method of yang. The body is born with masculinity, these masculine pressure system makes your soul grow, so even if you take the soul to eat as a bean, the growth of the soul is very limited. The wind was originally raging, but Yi Yuan said so, she showed a thoughtful color. Yi Yuan continued. Your current soul strength can barely reach the level of the junior Dan, but the success rate of alchemy is very low, so it is difficult to pass the assessment. If you continue to cultivate, the body will accumulate more yang, for you the suppression of the soul will become more and more obvious, and you don't want to advance to the Dan division in your life. Hey, I'm alarming. Do you think you can lie to me in a few words? Although the heart has already believed in more than half, the wind is still awkward. Yes, if I expected it to be good, is your current cultivation speed slower and slower? Do you feel unwell at noon every day? Dantian is hot, and the temple has a feeling of pain. If you feel alarmy, just be me. Didn't say it well. If Yi Yuan is faint, it is to make the wind cold. Yi Yuan said that it is not bad. She used to practice much faster than her peers. However, since she broke through to the spiritual environment, her cultivation speed has suddenly dropped. Now it is less than 2/3 of the previous one. Every day at noon, the body is often uncomfortable, and the symptoms are exactly the same as Yi Yuan said. Is it true that Yi Yuan said that he chose the wrong method? You are nonsense. The windy eyes became a bit stunned, but the pride of her always made her dead ducks hard. In fact, it is not impossible to remedy. At least let you pass the assessment today. There is still a way. What is the way? When the words are exported, the wind will regret it. This is not the same as disguised recognition. Has Yi Yuan already persuaded her? When you are alchemy, you will suppress Yuanli to a heavy one, and at the same time take a soul, you should be able to refine the second-order remedy. But you should not reluctantly refine some easy-to-use Dan medicine as fine. Yi Yuan is too lazy to care about anything. After these words, I believe that this girl will be distressed for a while, no time to compete with him, so she told her directly. So, can it really be? I have already said the method, believe it or not. Yi Yuan did not care. At this moment, Wang Yuan came out of the alchemy room with an extremely inflated confidence. Wang Yuan's performance today is exceptionally excellent, and the refining of the medicinal herbs has been completed at a super level. Ha ha ha, Yin Xian really is blue out of blue. I see that your refining has already had a few points of the father's charm. This refining of the medicinal herbs, at least the top-grade medicinal herbs. Come and let the old look. Wang Jinfu laughed. At this time, the examiner had already sent out the medicinal herbs, and Wang Yuan bowed to Wang Jinfu and Sun Jianming. He respectfully said, "Thank you for the praise of the President Wang. The refining of the younger generation is to break through the shackles, and luckily pass. The words are modest, but the arrogance of his eyebrows can't be concealed. However, in the eyes of others, the arrogance of Wang Yuan is his emboldened. Wang Jinfu took a look at the medicinal herbs and couldn't help but change his face. Chapter 63 I accidentally said the truth. This is actually a quasi-perfect product. Wang Jinfu was surprised. Oh, let me see. It's really. Despite the fact that it is the same as Zhan Qingdan and Mengudan in the grade, but the refining is more difficult, and Wan Shenzhen can refine the quasi-perfect goods. It is really amazing. Sun Jianming took a look at the medicinal herbs, and it really turned out to be the best. Seeing the surprised expression on Wang Jinfu and Sun Jianming's face, Wang Yuan suddenly felt elated. Small luck, I did not expect to refine the quasi-premium medicinal herbs today. Wang Yuan's words were modest, but the smile on his face could not be concealed. He claimed to have changed from late generation to small scorpion. Wang Jinfu looked at Wang Yuan with deep meaning and sighed. Yin Yin is too modest, and your technique of alchemy is afraid to be the first person in the younger generation of Qin Guiyuan. If it is not because you are the son of Wandi, the old man wants to accept you as a disciple. Wang Yuan's inner heart was excited and he was able to get the approval of the vice president of the Refining Pharmacists Association. It is definitely a great advantage. The Association of Refining Pharmacists has always been a detached person and is not subject to any influence. Because of this, no matter which power, I want to tie up with them. If Wang Jinfu can be accepted as an apprentice, Wan Jia will find a big back in the future. Wan Donghai is awesome, but he is only a businessman, but a rootless one. Although the Drunk Star building is big, it is too restrictive in the Imperial City. If it is the big tree of the Association of Chemical Refining Pharmacists, is it not easy to destroy the Medicine Fragrant Pavilion? Thinking of this, Wang Yuan did not hesitate and bowed to Wang Jinfu. My father usually mentions two presidents at home and admires the two adults. If the father knows that I can meet with the grown-up, I am very happy. Wang Jinfu haha smiled and said, unfortunately, I have already collected Fenger as a disciple, and you are a college disciple, and you are not allowed to worship another teacher. However, it is fine for you to be a registered disciple. Would you like? The previous sentence made Wang Yuan disappointed, and the latter sentence made him happy. Wang Jinfu arranged this way, it was indeed an apprentice for him. The disciple of Danwu College is equal to the person of Yuyunzong. It is not appropriate to worship him. But it doesn't matter if you remember a disciple. Wang Yuan heads to worship. The disciple Wang Yuan sees the master. Wang Jinfu smiled and accepted it. Okay, good. You and me are just the masters and apprentices on the list. Don't be too cautious, get up. After the assessment is over, let's say, we still don't want to delay the assessment of others. Everyone can see that Wang Jinfu is very satisfied with this registered disciple. The wind on the side of the wind frowned. She is not because of the dissatisfaction of Wang Yuan's apprenticeship. In fact, there are many students like Danwu College, but Wang Yuan's identity is too sensitive. If the wind is clear as a royal family, the sensitivity to Wang Yuan's apprentice is naturally different from others. Wanjia has always been hooked up with Sujia Hook, occupying more than half of the medicinal materials in the Qin state and the medicinal materials business. The royal family is naturally not at ease, so it is the default of the rise of Yi family. Now, Wang Yuan worships Wang Jinfu as a teacher, and he has drawn a relationship with Wanjia and the Association of Refining Pharmacists. The power of the Association of Refining Pharmacists is even stronger than that of the Union sect, and their divisions are spread across all corners of the mainland. It can be said that there is a refining pharmacist association in some places. Wanjia and these behemoths collude, as the royal family cannot help. Now the Danshi assessment began, and the participants who participated in the assessment entered the drug storehouse. The examiner shouted. Yi Yuanzheng was about to leave, but Wang Yuan came to him with a smile. Yi Yuan, I advise you not to go in shame. The master is highly respected and unwilling to care for the juniors like you. You should be a bit measured. I haven't touched alchemy since I was a child, and I've played it out in a minute. It's not just yours, but even the Win teacher and the Danwu Academy are lost. What? He won't be alchemy. Wang Jinfu listened and immediately blew his hair. Master, Yi Yuan and I have grown up together since childhood. I have never known that he will be alchemy for so many years. Although I don't know how he got in, I am afraid that he will lose even our face. There is such a persuasion. Wan Yuan explained with compassion. Yi Yuan, are you patiently challenging my old man? Wang Jinfu said with anger. Yi Yuan did not pay attention to Wang Jinfu, but looked at Wan Yuan and smiled. Look at my mouth shape. What? Wan Yuan did not respond. White, crazy. Yi Yuan did not make a sound, but exaggerated to say these two words. Although everyone did not hear the sound, but the fool can also see what Yi Yuan said. Just like this, the atmosphere of the original swordsmanship has become a bit strange, and everyone has struggled to hold back the laugh. Yi Yuan, this is also for you, you don't want to know. Wan Yuan angered. I was really shocked by your idiot. In the Imperial City, within the Danwu Academy, who does not know that I and you from childhood to big do not deal with? You now say that for me, you or everyone like you is an idiot. Yi Yuan looked helpless. Wan Yuan did not expect Yi Yuan to tear his face in public, and he was so utterly shocked by Yi Yuan. Yi Yuan, you rarely transfer the topic. What I am saying now is whether you will alchemy, you are wasting precious time for the two presidents. Wan Yuan was not stunned and knew the counterattack. Yi Yuan shook his head and sighed. I'm sorry, I just insulted the word idiot. Hey, this time, everyone can't help but laugh out loud, especially the wind. Laughing is the front and back, the action is quite exaggerated. Wan Yuan swelled his face and angered. Yi Yuan, you are less nonsense. Well, you guys who are not even as idiots, don't tell you that you won't give up. You said that you and I grew up together, never knowing that I will be alchemy. Can you say that you have 12 hours a day? Are you following me? I am eating, sleeping, going to the toilet, are you following? Or do I have to learn alchemy to report to you? You have a great teacher, I am a good man, I also have a great Dan teacher. Why do you alchemy? I will not be alchemy. Also, the two presidents will come to be your beating, I want to die, what is sinister? Oh, sorry, just accidentally said your true purpose. I apologize to you. After that, Yi Yuan still had nothing to do with Wan Yuan, causing everyone to laugh. It was said by Yi Yuan that Wan Yuan is now falling into the pants in the yellow mud, and it is not awkward. Wan Yuan looked back to Wang Jinfu, and he saw that his face was a bit gloomy. He quickly explained, Master, you don't want to listen to this nonsense, nothing at all. He wants to blame me now, how can I use the teacher? Respect, will he be alchemy, and he will know when he enters the alchemy room. Wang Jinfu was also difficult to tell whether Yi Yuan said it was true or not. He said, well, let me try. Chapter 64 Does he really make alchemy? Well, I have to look at what kind of second-order remedy you can make. You don't have to take a pile of dregs to fill it. Wan Yuan wanted to give Yi Yuan an embarrassment, but did not expect to wander himself. However, he does not believe that Yi Yuan can produce any medicine. Even if he really does alchemy, it is impossible to refine the second-order remedy. As long as Yi Yuan refining does not produce a second-order remedy, everything is fine. When he was ignited by the wind, he was afraid that Yi Yuan could completely walk out of the door of the Association of Chemical Refining Pharmacists. You still have to worry about your own IQ. I don't have to worry about my business. After that, Yi Yuan directly ignored Wan Yuan and went to the drug store. When passing by the wind, he suddenly smiled and said, don't blink, look good. If the wind is sunny and the face is slightly moving, some look at Yi Yuan, and Yi Yuan has already entered the drug store. Is it true that he wants to use yin and yang shunting, so let me pay attention. He really will yin and yang shunt. Feng Ruoking originally thought that Yi Yuan must have a strong master of refining pharmacists, so Yi Yuan can have such profound theoretical knowledge. However, the yin and yang shunting exercises require a lot of practice to practice. No 1 or 2 or 3 years can't be practiced. As for practicing Dacheng, it takes longer, and 5 years is less. However, Yi Yuan was only 15 years old. Did he start practicing from the age of 10? However, when Yi Yuan was 10 years old, Wu Dao was afraid that he had not yet started. Where did he come from? If the wind is clear, I haven't thought about it for a long time, so I have to give up. If the wind returned to the sky, I found that the atmosphere was not right. All the people are staring at the light curtain, and their eyes are a bit strange. What is Yi Yuan doing? He won't be arbitrarily choosing medicine, will he be tempted? Wang Yuan looked at the light curtain and sneered. I will say that he will not do anything. You look at it. He doesn't even look at it. He grabs a medicine and walks away. He does not check it at all. Who chooses medicine is so chosen. Yeah, isn't that looking for us to have fun? The medicines in the medicine storehouse have a lot of similar appearances. If you don't look carefully, you can't see them at all. He is too casual. In the seat, Wang Jinfu and Sun Jianming's face are not very good looking. Of course, they know that there are a lot of confusing medicines in the drugstore, which is to test the vision of the refining pharmacists. However, Yi Yuan's performance is too amateur, so that they have the feeling of being deceived. Seeing the performance of Yi Yuan, Wang Yuan's heart is more determined that Yi Yuan will not be alchemy. Seeing the faces of the two giants, he was happy in his heart. Yi Yuan, you can't blame me for finding yourself. Even if Yi Heng comes, you can't save you. Wang Yuan sneered in his heart. Wind girl, not my old man's mouth, he really will be alchemy. Wang Jinfu could not help but ask. Here, she is not surprised if she knows Yi Yuan's ability. Please also ask the president to patiently read it. Since the assessment has already begun, let Yi Yuanlian finish it. If he smashes what scorpion, I will bear the wind and bear it. Although the wind is clear, although respectful, but the maintenance of Yi Yuan is very firm. Wang Jinfu knows a little about Feng Ruoqing, knowing that she has always been steady, not knowing why she is accompanying a junior today. The wind girl is close to the strength of the senior Dan teacher, will not be able to distinguish between the novice and the insider. Just look at Yi Yuan's choice of medicine, you can see that he is a layman, the wind girl must accompany him to play. Wang Jinfu frowned. If the wind is sunny and the identity is special, it is likely to become another great master of the royal family in the future. Although the Association of Refining Pharmacists is not afraid of the royal family, this Qin country is, after all, the land of the royal family. It is not a last resort, and the two sides naturally cannot tear the skin. Therefore, Wang Jinfu still resists the temper and speaks with the wind. If the wind is clear, it is a smile. I am still saying that President Wang may wish to endure the temper, and may not let you down. Sometimes, what the eyes see may not be true. Wang Jinfu sees the wind and the sun is persistent, and the heart is also angry. He wanted to see what Yi Yuan could play with. Anyway, the words have already been released. If Yi Yuan really dares to take the Confucian Pharmacist Association as a pastime, he will kill him and believe that if the wind is clear, there is nothing to say. Look, Yi Yuan is out. Is this too fast? Is he a layman? Yeah, I went out after a round trip. You see, he has a small amount of medicine, and it is estimated that it will be enough to refine it once. Is this a broken can, or is he too confident about himself? Nonsense, of course, he broke the cans. Even if he is a great Dan, he can't guarantee that he will succeed in refining the second-order remedy every time. Is Yi Yuan already enchanting, and the success rate of alchemy is 100%. Yi Yuan's move attracted a poisonous tongue, but he could not hear it. Of course, even if he heard it, he would be a fart. Entering the alchemy room, Yi Yuan immediately threw the medicine on the console, and then divided the medicines into 2 parts on average, and began to directly extract the medicine embryos, and even the dispensing of the medicines was omitted. From the time of drug selection to the present, less than a quarter of an hour, his actions once again caused a burst of sorrow. In the hall, both the trainees and the Dan teachers of the Association of Refining Pharmacists face each other. Is this leaf far from being funny? Even if he only chooses one medicine for the sake of loading, but, doesn't he have to weigh the medicine? How does he determine the weight of each medicine? Another person looked at him like an idiot. Are you still hopeful that Yi Yuan can refine the medicinal herbs? This guy is simply a layman, knowing nothing, purely funny. You see, he only has one medicinal material, and he divides the medicinal material into 2 halves. The weight of the half is not enough to refine a medicinal herb. Hey, this leaf is really fat, and I dare to turn the two club presidents to play. Is this the rhythm of finding death? Wang Yuan sneered and said. I said, he is the benefit of his tongue, and he really turned people around. I have to look at it, how can he come out in a round? After that, Wang Yuan looked at Wang Jinfu and wanted to see what his expression was now. However, in Wang Jinfu's face, Wang Yuan did not see the expression he wanted to see. Wang Jinfu's face is full of doubts. Old son, you said that Yi Yuan's kid would not use yin and yang shunting. The look on Sun Jianming's face is similar to that of Wang Jinfu. The average medicine is divided into two parts. It is reasonable to say that it should be the way of yin and yang shunting, but Wang Jinfu shook his head. I also think it is unlikely. This boy is only a few years old. How can he have a yin and yang shunt? The two adults do not have to guess. Yi Yuan is going to use the yin and yang shunt. At this time, the sound of the wind faintly came. Chapter 65 God is skill. He is a layman to alchemy. He doesn't even know how to dispense medicine. How can he yin and yang shunt? Dispensing has been deeply rooted in the hearts of the refining pharmacists, even if Wang Jinfu is a great Dan teacher. After all, with his realm, it is impossible to understand how Dandy made alchemy. Therefore, in Wang Jinfu's heart, Yi Yuan has long been identified as a layman. He will do not know if you continue to look down. To be honest, I am also looking forward to it. Feng Ruoqing smiled. The dialogue between Wang Jinfu and the three people was introduced into many people, and the students could not help but whisper. Yin and yang shunt surgery. What kind of ghost is that? I don't know, I haven't heard of it. I am confused now. Is Yi Yuan really a good thing or a sham? Should it be a mystery? After all, he doesn't even know how to dispense medicine. Yeah, I think so too. Others do not know the yin and yang shunt, but Wang Yuan knows. It is because of knowing that the disdain of Wang Yuan's face is more intense. Although the yin and yang shunt is very powerful, it is extremely difficult to cultivate. Yi Yuan is a few pounds, he is too clear, how can it be? It is estimated that he was seen from the book of the partial door, and now deliberately took out the sensation. In the alchemy room, Yi Yuan quickly completed the refining of the medicine embryo, and the next step was to open the alchemy. As with the day when the wind was sunny as an assistant, Yi Yuan's hands were smashed, and the flames were skillfully divided into two pieces, and the medicine tripod was evenly baked. After finishing the preparatory work, Yi Yuan had a single hand, and the medicine embryo flew into the medicine. At this time, Yi Yuan's hands are like a dragon to the sea, his left hand is sputum, and his right hand is sputum, urging two medicine embryos. The whole process is not fast, but it doesn't drag the water. The essence of yin and yang shunt is synchronization. At this point, Yi Yuan was impeccable at the beginning of refining. In the hall outside the alchemy room, Yi Yuan's refining finally dispelled all doubts about him. Yi Yuan, it is indeed alchemy. It's just how high the level is, but it's still hard to say. I don't think this kid is really alchemy, but why is his movement so slow? Is it because he is not familiar with the seal? Wang Jinfu said strangely. Yin and yang shunting has 77 and 49 yang, and 77 and 49 yin, each one is very complicated. I also tried to practice yin and yang shunting in the same year, but eventually failed. Yi Yuan, this a pair of Indians have been correct so far, and they can't see any stagnation. It is reasonable to say that they should be able to use them skillfully. I don't want to understand why he is so slow. What do you say? Sun Jianming seems to be quite familiar with yin and yang shunting. I am afraid that I have been studying for a short time in my early years. Feng Ruoqing has been staring at Yi Yuan's hands from the very beginning. The first 21 reprints of yin and yang shunting are all in her heart. Yi Yuan's current meme is like giving her a slow motion. Look at the general. Don't he specifically show himself to the show? Feng Ruoqing quickly denied the idea. The yin and yang shunt is extremely complicated. If it is used, the medicinal herbs will definitely be abolished. Even if Yi Yuan really has the level of Dan, it is impossible to recover. Seeing Sun Jianming asking himself, if the wind is clear, it is bitter, and shook his head. I don't know. Well, the first pair of seals is finished, but this speed is too slow. At this speed, the drug can't be shaped at all, and it must be a waste Dan. Wang Jinfu said. Yi Yuan began to make the second pair of neem, and the two medicine embryos jumped happily in the medicine trip, one after another, like a cheerful fish. Well, Pharaoh, do you feel that Yi Yuan's speed is getting faster? Sun Jianming suddenly said when the second pair was half finished. Yes, I didn't pay attention to it, it was still so slow. However, did you find out that Sun's movements are slow, but the medicine embryo has no tendency to disperse? Wang Jinfu seems to have found some unusual place. In fact, when the refining pharmacists refine the medicinal herbs, they usually squat quickly to maintain the shape of the medicinal embryo. It's like a wooden bridge. If you rush in the past, you can master the direction and balance, and you won't fall. If you slowly pass, you will lose your weight. However, Yi Yuan's refining is just the opposite. He clearly slows down the speed, but every step is very solid, and there is no serious situation. Sun Jianming looked at it and couldn't help but say, it's true. Is it true that Yi Yuan's yin and yang shunting has been trained to a very high level, so deliberately slow down, so that the various herbs in the medicine embryo are better integrated? But, is it possible? When the two were discussing, Yi Yuan's seal had already reached the third pair. No, it seems to be faster. Sun Jianming shouted. Well, you are saying this now, it seems that it is really faster than the original, he is speeding up. Wang Jinfu also found the change of Yi Yuan hand speed. Do you say, are you going to accelerate this way? Sun Jianming and Wang Jinfu looked at each other and saw the shock from the other side's eyes. Next is the fourth pair of seals. The fifth pair, the sixth pair, the seventh pair. Yi Yuanjun's speed is getting faster and more elusive. At the beginning, everyone's eyes could keep up with the speed of the leaves, but later, they only saw a phantom. Yi Yuan's refining makes people feel like dancing with their fingertips, like a dream. Sun Jianming and Wang Jinfu no longer discussed Yi Yuan's seal, and they were completely intoxicated by Yi Yuan's refining. At this moment, their mood seems to be shaking with Yi Yuan's hands, then they become excited, and finally there is a feeling of boiling blood. Sun Jianming and Wang Jinfu are the highest in the world, and even both of them are addicted to it, not to mention other people. Even Yi Yuan's death is against Wan Yuan, and he has lost himself at this time. Sun Jianming and Wang Jinfu both seem to be intoxicated and seem to be brought into a certain realm, which is a realm that they have never heard of in their lifetime. Yin and Yang, he. When this feeling reached its peak, Yi Yuan sang low and his hands jerked. I saw two half-pointed medicinal herbs that had been condensed and formed suddenly gathered in the middle, and a white ray was shot from the medicine ding, stinging everyone's eyes. Sun Jianming and Wang Jinfu suddenly woke up, and the two looked at each other again, and they all read an inexplicable emotion from the other side's eyes. The whole hall was quiet, and the students had not recovered from the loss. At this time, the alchemy door belonging to Yi Yuan opened, and Yi Yuan slowly came out from the inside. The sweat of the bean hangs in his forehead. Obviously, refining the second-order medicinal medicine is too reluctant for him. The medicinal herbs have been refining, and I am exhausted. I will go back to sleep first, but I will give you a message. After that, Yi Yuanyang went away and left the stunned people. Chapter 66 Miracles, Legends. He left. Wang Jinfu forgot to stop Yi Yuan for a while, and when he returned, Yi Yuan has disappeared. Sun Jianming took a deep breath and sighed. What can I do if I don't go? He has exhausted his strength and will not be able to adjust it in time. It may leave hidden dangers. Although he refines the second-order medicinal herbs with vitality, he will eventually it's too reluctant. It's a pity that people are left behind because of an alchemy. Hey, how is it? He already has enough strength to refine the second-order medicinal herbs. What is lacking is only the accumulation of yuanli. Wang Jinfu's words still have a deep shock. Sun Jianming nodded and thought deeply. However, he suddenly became excited and shivered. The miracle. Just the refining of Yi Yuan, it is a miracle. Yes, it is indeed a miracle. Is it true that Yi Yuan's yin and yang shunting has reached the legendary realm? Wang Jinfu exclaimed. Sun Jianming agreed. Absolutely, the legendary realm. A rejuvenating remedy for 4 elements, even the mood of both of us has been affected. The non-legendary is impossible. The various refining techniques have the same essence in martial arts, but the refining techniques are not aggressive. However, according to the degree of mastery, refining is divided into 5 realms: entry, Shaocheng, Dacheng, consummation and legendary realm. The division of the realm and the martial arts are roughly the same, except that the 5th realm name is different. A fantasy, a legend. The difference in naming also shows the extreme difference between martial arts and refining. Wushu pursues the ultimate destructive power. What is needed is to break the shackles and surpass the limits. Therefore, it is named as a magical illusion. The pursuit of refining is an infinite creativity. Among the small medicinal herbs, there are infinite possibilities, and the method of alchemy pursues to create more possibilities, so it is named as legend. Once the refining technique is promoted into the legendary world, the refining of the medicinal herbs will have unlimited possibilities, which will often increase the efficacy of the drug. Legend has it that the technique of refining medicine can even give the medicinal herbs some additional attributes, and thus receive unexpected results. What Wang Jinfu seemed to think of, suddenly shouted, "What are you still doing? Don't go out and ask the Yi Yuan refining medicinal herbs." When Wang Jinfu spoke, he unconsciously used the word, "please." At the same time, there was Dan Shi who suddenly realized that he had tented to take the drug. Wang Yuan's face was very ugly at this time, but his heart was inexplicably shocked and strongly humiliated. He knew that the relationship with Wang Jinfu had just been ruined, and Wang Jinfu could not accept him as a disciple. If Yi Yuan wouldn't be alchemy, he could be smothered with water by Wang Jinfu's bad mood. However, the contradiction between him and Yi Yuan has now become public. Wang Jinfu only needs to recall Yi Yuan's words a little, and he is afraid that he will not have a good impression on Wang Yuan. What makes Wang Yuan more shameful is that he was just brought into the wonderful feeling by Yi Yuan, which shows that his Dan Dao is far worse than Yi. How can this happen? Yi Yuan Mingming was still a waste a month ago. Now he has not only achieved horrific achievements in the martial arts, but the level on Dandao has broken common sense and completed impossible things. This will work hard. Yi Yuan's medicinal herbs have been carefully carried out by a Dan teacher with a jade plate. A red-hot remedy is presented in front of everyone. This is the fortified Dan under the 2nd order. Wen Jinfu quickly identified the medicinal herbs. Yes, it is indeed to strengthen Dan. The 2nd order strengthening of the super good Dan. Sun Jianming looked dignified. Strengthening Dan is a very low-grade medicinal herb, which is commonly used in the underlying military. The role of strengthening Dan is to strengthen the strength of a certain part of the body, so that the body of the warrior has a medicinal herb that exceeds the existing strength. The 1st order intensified Dan is very popular with the wicked hunter and often helps them to defeat the monsters that are stronger than them. Very low but very practical. However, the 2nd order reinforcement Dan is not as popular as the 1st order, because the spirits of the warriors are much richer than the elites, and their strength is also much stronger. They can afford higher level drugs. After the Lingye environment, the gap between each small realm is very large, that is, the use of the 2nd order strengthening of the strength of the local increase of Dan. The role is also very limited, because the level of the drug is too low, just barely reach the 2nd degree. Therefore, the status of the 2nd order strengthening of Dan has become very embarrassing. But no matter what, the 2nd order strengthening Dan is the 2nd order strengthening Dan, which is a real 2nd order remedy, and no one can afford it. Of course, no one will go to jealous now, and everyone is looking at the drug with curiosity. Wang Jinfu and Sun Jianming looked at each other and Wang Jinfu said, "Old Sun, what do you think now?" "It's the same as you think." Sun Jianming replied. Try it." Wang Jinfu is not sure. Sun Jianming shook his head. "This medicinal medicine is made by Yi Yuan. According to the rules of the guild, this medicinal medicine belongs to him. We have no right to test." Wang Jinfu and Sun Jianming are now caught in the same heart as the cat, and they are very curious about the efficacy of this super product 2nd order strengthening Dan. However, the examiners who came to the Institute of Refining Pharmacists to participate in the assessment have already paid the assessment fees, so the refining medicinal herbs are naturally owned by themselves. The assessment fee of Danwu College students has been paid by Danwu College. Wang and Sun naturally cannot test the drug at will. Wang Jinfu suddenly remembered something. He shot a thigh and shouted, "The Wind Girl." Half of his words came to an abrupt end, because he turned around and found that the wind was clear and closed his eyes, and he fell into a strange state. Epiphany. Wang Jinfu took a sigh of relief. I don't know if I haven't heard the wind and talked, but she actually entered the epiphany. Her soul is growing, she wants to break through. Sun Jianming apparently found a strange. Everyone is quiet, don't bother the Wind Girl to break through. Wang Jinfu said. The assessment hall was quiet immediately, and everyone was watching the breakthrough of the wind. If the wind is clear, she will observe the mentality of learning and observe the yin and yang shunting technique of Yi Yuan. When Yi Yuan later refining the technique like a dream, she will realize the state of enlightenment if she realizes it. Here, no one is deeper than her yin and yang shunt, and no one knows more about yin and yang shunts than he does. Later, the spirit of the wind and the yin and yang shunt of Yi Yuan had some kind of resonance, and her soul gradually grew stronger under this resonance. The spirit of the wind is only a trace away from the senior Dan teacher. With this resonance, she successfully passed the threshold of the senior Dantu and went to Dantu. Chapter 67 Test the potency. Suddenly, the surrounding forces were gathered together in the wind, forming a small force storm around her. If the wind greedily absorbs the strength of the gathering, it broke through the embarrassment. She was originally the six spirits of spirits. With the opportunity of epiphany, not only did the soul force break through the realm of the senior Dan teacher, but Yuan Li also broke through the six-fold calm of the spirit liquid and directly raised it to the spirit of the seven. When the power in the hall returned to calm, the wind slowly cleared his eyes. Congratulations to the Wind Girl, advanced to the senior Dan teacher. Wang Jinfu immediately congratulated him, and then others came up to congratulate. Feng Ruoqing can break through to the senior Dan teacher at such a young age, and it will almost become a matter of course in the future. Such a big man in the future of Qin is now necessary to make a good deal. It's just that the wind is sunny and the entertainment is somewhat perfunctory. Her eyes are looking for in the crowd, but she never finds the individual she wants to see. Thank you for raising your love. If you can't be honest, if you can break through today, you have to thank Yi Yuan. I don't know where he is now. Feng Ruoqing asked with some doubts. In the state of epiphany, if the wind is clear, there is no knowledge of the outside world, and I don't know that Yi Yuan has already gone. Wind Girl, Yi Yuan, because the refining of the second order strengthening Dan, Yuan Li has been exhausted. After he came out of the alchemy room, he went back to rest. Wang Jinfu replied. If the wind is clear, then it's stunned, then he refines the remedy. As soon as she mentioned the medicinal herbs, the faces of the people became strange again. If the wind was too clear and unclear, the heart was stunned and quickly asked, is Yi Yuan failing? Impossible. The Wind Girl is relieved, Yi Yuan is naturally successful. Just, Wang Jinfu was a bit difficult to talk about at the moment. In fact, it is somewhat rash to test other people's refining remedies, but Wang Jinfu really wants to know if this super-grade second-order strengthening Dan has any special effects. Just what? The wind is clear and doubtful. Wang Jinfu sighed and said, I am not afraid of the Wind Girl joke, that Yi Yuan not only refines the second-order medicinal herbs, but also the super second-class medicinal herbs. His performance is a miracle. So, I heard that Wang Jinfu said this, if the wind is clear, the heart will suddenly become clear. The meaning of the word, super good second-order medicinal herbs, in the refining industry in Qin is extraordinary. Even if it is a senior Dan, there is no way to refine the second-class remedy. Even the remedy is only the lowest second order. The second-order medicinal herbs and the first-order medicinal herbs are completely different concepts. The first-order medicinal herbs are not very demanding on the soul force, and the refining system is relatively simple. However, the complexity of the second-order immortality is several times or even dozens of times that of the first-order immortality. Because of this, if you want to advance to Dan, you will need a stronger soul. And this gap has also brought about a phenomenon. That is, the first-order medicinal drugs will occasionally have super products, but the second-order medicinal herbs have never appeared in the refining industry in Qin Dynasty. Therefore, Wang Jinfu would like to see what kind of function this medicinal drug has. I saw everyone looking at themselves with the look of anticipation. In fact, she is also very curious about how amazing this so-called super second-class medicinal medicine is. Even if the wind is clear, among the people, the only one who believes that Yi Yuan can refine the second-order medicinal herbs is that she is not as shocked as other people at this time. If the wind is clear, Wang Jinfu uses the word miracle to describe the refining of Yi Yuan just now. It is really appropriate. If that's the case, give it a try. Seeing the wind and clearing the words, everyone is a long sigh of relief, and the look is expected in the eyes. Ha ha ha, I finally refined the second-order remedy. I am also a Dan teacher now. At this moment, a little screaming sound, everyone cannot help but turn and look, but it turned out to be popular. Everyone remembered this, and there were 2 other assessors who didn't come out. When the wind saw the wind clear, I was happy to dance, and ran to her in front of her and shook her arm and said, "Aunt, I really refined the second-order medicine. I can't think of Yi Yuan's boy. Brush, just give it a bit, I will make a second-order remedy. Now, I am also a Dan teacher." "What?" Yi Yuan pointed to you. "The wind is a bit strange." "Yeah, he said that my exercises have restrained my soul power, so let me not use all my strength to refine. I follow his method and I have refined the second-order medicine. Although it has only been refined. The second-order remedy, but it's a success. Hey, Yi Yuan, isn't he still out?" The wind hasn't felt the atmosphere strange and self-satisfied. Feng Ruoqing and Wang Jinfu and Sun Jianming looked at each other and saw the silent silence from the other party's eyes. Just a little bit of advice can make you go to the top of the danshi. What is this enchanting Yi Yuan? In the practice room of the Association of Refining Pharmacists, it is now crowded with people. 2 spirit liquid warriors stood in the center of the practice room. They were the warriors who tested this super-class second-order strengthening Dan. Testing the drug's potency is a dangerous thing, because no one knows what happens after the drug is eaten. However, the test strengthens Dan, which is already very mature, but it will not have too many dangers. Moreover, the efficacy of the second-order enhancement of Dan will only be stronger, and naturally it will not cause any harm to the body of the military. The 2 warriors were settled after intense discussion. One was named Chunghua and the other was named Zhu Chang. Chunghua is a heavy liquid environment, Zhu Chang is a 5-fold spiritual environment, and the difference between the 2 is a small realm, a small step. This gap is huge. It is very difficult to fight for the level of the spirit, because even if it is a small realm, the gap is very large, let alone the 4 realms. The second-order strengthening Dan, even if it is the second-order strengthening Dan, the spiritual liquid cannot be partially strengthened after defeating the second liquid, unless the spirit liquid double station is there to let him fight. However, the efficacy of the second-class medicinal herbs has never been tried, so in order to be on the safe side, Zhu Chang, who has strong strength, has been chosen as a sandbag to avoid accidental injury. Zhu Chang's mission is to stand there and attack it hard. Even so, Zhu Chang does not think that Chunghua can hurt him. The gap between them is not a remedy for me. Even super medicinal herbs. Under the eyes of the public, Chunghua took the second-order intensified Dan of Yi Yuan's refining system. Many people are somewhat envious of Chunghua, but he is the first warrior of Qingguo to take the second-class medicinal herbs. "Oh, how does it feel to take the second-class medicinal medicine?" Zhu Chang asked with a smile. Chunghua, who had suddenly closed his eyes to feel the power of medicinal herbs, suddenly opened his eyes. Chang Zuxiang smiled and said, "I feel full of strength. I have to shoot. Zhu brother can be careful." Zhu Chang is also a ha-ha smile, bold and said, "Come on, even if it is a second-class remedy, it is impossible to make up for the huge gap in the realm. Chunghua has no nonsense, and it has slammed into the past." A punch out, full of silence. Chapter 68 Punch. Zhu Chang really turned into a sandbag. He flew out like a sandbag. Zhu Chang was barely able to stabilize his body shape as he flew out more than 10 feet. His face was pale as paper, and a line of blood flowed from the corner of his mouth, apparently suffering from a minor injury. Chunghua looked at his fist and looked at Zhu Chang with a blank face. "Just this punch, is it really what I played?" Chunghua feels like being dreaming. Just now, Dan medicine entered the abdomen, and he quickly guided the medicine into the right arm. Then he felt that his right arm was full of violent power. That kind of awkward power makes him feel like he doesn't spit. According to the previous account, Chunghwa did not use martial arts. This is just a simple punch. However, this simple punch has actually injured a strong 5-person spirit. Zhu Shang, are you okay? Chunghwa did not mean hurting people, but he really injured Zhu Chang. Also, okay, Zhu Chang did not think that Chunghwa's punch was so powerful that it really caused a lot of harm to himself. Of course, this punch did not cause substantial harm to him. After all, Chunghwa did not use martial arts, and this power naturally did not reach its limit. The defensive power of the 5 spirits is very terrible. It is reasonable to say that it is impossible to hurt the spirit of the spirit, even if he took the remedy. However, now, Chunghwa actually hurt him. Zhu Chang is very scared now. Fortunately, it was previously stipulated that it is not allowed to use martial arts. Otherwise, it is really hard to say whether he can stand now. Zhu Chang did not despise him because Chunghwa was a heavy liquid. He has used most of his power to defend. It was under such circumstances that Chunghwa injured him. Fast, give this medicinal medicine to Zhu Chang. Wang Jinfu was the first to return to God at this time. The first time was to treat Zhu Chang. The second-class medicinal medicine of the super product is so terrible, it can make the spirit liquid hit the 5 spirits. Sun Jianming muttered. He was the first to see the power of super medicine, and the scene was too shocking. That was not the kind of small fights between Yi Yuan and Fei Qingping. Chunghwa and Zhu Chang were both strong spirits. It was too difficult to fight more. Yeah, if Cheng Zihua used martial arts and his martial arts were strong enough, he might even hit Zhu Chang. Wang Jinfu also sighed. Yes, that is to say, if a spiritual environment has such a super product second-order strengthening Dan, under certain conditions, it can defeat the 5 strong players in the spirit environment. As for the spiritual environment, under the blow just now, there is almost no possibility of surviving. Sun Jianming analyzed. After that, Sun Jianming was shocked by his analysis. Wang Jinfu took a sigh of relief. If this drug can be mass-produced, isn't that realm a joke? Indeed, even with such a drug, it is difficult to defeat the spirit of the spirit. The role of strengthening Dan is only a partial strengthening, not to make the overall strength of the military leaps and bounds. It is good to be able to kill the spirits in theory, but the conditions required are too harsh and almost impossible in actual combat. Even so, the significance of the second-class medicinal herbs is too great. Because once you take this kind of medicinal medicine, it is possible that the spirits will be more and more heavy and even triple fighting will become a common phenomenon. In that case, the realm of the real world is really a joke. You are trying hard to cultivate and enhance a small realm. It is not as good as eating a medicinal medicine. Don't be kidding, how can this kind of medicinal medicine be mass-produced? How many years have we been in Qinguoli, haven't there been such a super-class second-order remedy? Sun Jianming shook his head. Wang Jinfu thinks about it too. Yi Yuan is a good demon, but let him mass-produce this super-class second-class medicine, I am afraid it is impossible. However, at this time, the wind blew out loudly. Do not forget the too old, Yi Yuan is now full of vitality. Wang Jinfu and Sun Jianming were shocked. Yes, Yi Yuankai is full of vitality. If he raises several small realms and even crosses the threshold of Lingye, will it be difficult to refine this super-class second-class medicine? The legendary level of yin and yang shunting has reduced the demand for alchemy to the soul. Even if Yi Yuanjin is not enough to advance to the Dan division after the spirit of the spirit, can he refine this second-class medicinal medicine? Wang Jinfu suddenly discovered that Yi Yuan's significance to the whole Qin state became extraordinary, because the entire Qin dynasty refining pharmacy, only one of them could refine the second-class medicinal herbs. Wang Jinfu suddenly looked cold and the momentum of the condensed crystals spread, so that all the people here felt great pressure. All of you are listening. Today, Yi Yuan refines the second-order remedy for the second-class remedy. No one can go out and talk about it. Now, you send a pledge to heaven, and I and you will supervise you. Of course, you can hear, but I can't guarantee that you can walk out of the Association of Refining Pharmacists. Wang Jinfu sighed. What? Heavenly vows. Let us send a swearing oath. Why? Wang Jinfu's words immediately aroused some people's resentment. The pledge of heaven is different from the general promise. Once the pledge of heaven is issued, this life must not be violated, otherwise it will be slain and die. No matter if the gods are the lower bounds, no one can violate the Tiandao vows. Wan Yuan was also present, and he now wants to vomit blood. He originally wanted to show his style today. Who knows that all the limelights have been taken away by Yi Yuan alone. Wan Yuan did not expect that Yi Yuan would not only be alchemy, but also the enchanting to this point. After seeing Chenghua's punch, he made up his mind. After going out, he must take out the things of today through certain channels. I believe that there must be many forces interested in Yi Yuan. But now, his thoughts have failed, and Wang Jinfu has to force everyone to make a vow. Zhu Cheng, Chenghua, both of you led everyone to send a swearing oath. Wang Jinfu ordered. Yes, these two people belong to the Association of Refining Pharmacists, and naturally they must listen to the orders of Wang Jinfu. Teacher, Master, I want to send it. I won't say it. One bite, Wan Yuan said. Wang Jinfu had forgotten this cheap apprentice. He did not expect that he would jump out of his own now, so he said coldly, Lian Fenger and the ant are all sent, are you even more special than them? Wang Jinfu is a real strong condensed crystal. Under his strong pressure, Wan Yuan feels that his own mind will collapse. I send. Yi Yuan's remarks made Wang Jinfu wake up, and he had long been disgusted with Wan Yuan. If it does not hinder the face of Wan Donghai, he will definitely make Wan Yuan look good today. In this way, under the intimidation of Wang Jinfu, everyone has issued a vow of heaven, except for himself, Sun Jianming and the wind. For such an arrangement, although everyone was angry, no one dared to show their heads. This is a world dominated by the strong. The refining pharmacists' guild is too strong. Chapter 69. Join us. In the early morning, Yao Shangge opened the door as usual, but as always, it was deserted. Feng Sanbai held a book in his hand and looked at it in the armchair. He has been flustered these days. He has been busy with fainting for so many years in the medicine incense, and he always wanted to find time to relax. Now that I am really idle, Feng San feels that it is not good enough. He stared at the book, but his mind was not on the book. What makes Feng San somewhat strange is that Yi Yuan, the young master, came back to the refining pharmacist's assessment yesterday, and he was so tired that he could get rid of it. What makes him even more strange is that Yi Yuan came out in the middle of the night, and Yuan Li recovered more than half. Then, the young master took the green child back to Danwu College overnight. The young master will not blame another disaster, go back to the college to avoid the disaster. Yesterday, the young master went to the Association of Refining Pharmacists. He wouldn't stir up the Refining Pharmacists Guild. Feng Sanyu wants to be the more serious, and the younger character of the younger brother can really get it. The young master will not be just a few days old, and he is guilty again. Feng Sanjung was thinking about it, and several old people entered the medicine incense. Although the drug business is a lot worse, there are still some people coming and going. After all, they do business fairly. For the few people who came in, Feng San didn't care. He still stared at the book in his hand. This little thing naturally has a buddy to take care of. There is the treasurer over there. The three of us have something to ask Mr. Yi Hang, please let me know. One of the old men said. Feng San just glanced at it lazily, but this embarrassment was a big jump. The three old men on the chest were really too eye-catching. The two old men are red badges on the chest, and the 3 stars on the chest of the old man are actually golden. 3 great Dan teachers come together. The Refining Pharmacists Guild is distinguished by the color of the same star refining pharmacist. The blue is the primary, the red is the intermediate, and the golden is the advanced. In the whole Qin state, only one person has a golden badge, that is, Wu Daofeng, the president of the Association of Refining Pharmacists. The identity of the other 2 people is ready to go, the Vice President Wang Jinfu and Sun Jianming. The Big 3, the heaviest component of the Qin dynasty's refining and pharmaceutical industry, came together. What happened in the end? Feng Sanyi got up and climbed up to the end of the trio. He said, The villain welcomes the three adults. I don't know why the three adults are looking for the owner. Oh, do you know who we are? Wang Jinfu was satisfied with Feng San's attitude. Feng San quickly said. The adults laughed. Although the villain has not seen three adults, they still have some knowledge. Who can wear this badge, except for the three adults? Haha, the treasurer is really as careful as the hare. No wonder I can get the reuse of Mr. Yi Hang. The three of us are here for Yi Yuan. I want to see your family. I wonder if it can be passed on. Wang Jinfu's words are polite, but Feng San's head is smashed and blasted. He remembered the strange move of Yi Yuan last night, and suddenly felt the back of his back cold. This kid is really sick again. This time, even Wu Daofeng's adults personally went to the door to ask for Sin. Yi Yuan is going to break the sky. Wu Daofeng has always been a simple resident, can alarm the big man. What is the big thing that Yi Yuan's kid has provoked? The thing of the Drunk Star building has already been ruined. Now there is another pharmacist association. Is it really a sinister drug? Wu Daofeng has not spoken. At this time, seeing Feng Sanyi's deputy soul, he couldn't help but say, is there any difficulty in the treasurer? Feng Sanyi's spirit came back to God, but he said bitterly, the three adults are really sorry. Our family has closed their doors a few days ago. I am afraid, I will not be able to get out of it for a while. After that, Feng Sangson was in a hurry and couldn't help but sneak a peek at Wu Daofeng and found that the three of them exchanged their eyes and revealed a deep disappointment. Feng San's heart could not help but be a bit strange. Looking at the posture of these three people, why didn't they like to ask the teacher to ask for Sin? But if you don't ask the teacher to ask for a crime, how can the three of them come together? Feng Sanbai could not understand. That, you are less than your home, Yi Yuan is not there. We can find him too. Wang Jinfu said at this moment. Feng San is somewhat guilty, but only promises. Three adults, young master, he went back to college yesterday night. The three men looked at each other again. Wang Jinfu shook his head and sighed. It seems that this kid is deliberately hiding from us. Yi Yuan returned to Danwu College. Can Zhang Yunhe guys let go? Wu Daofeng thought about it and didn't know what he was thinking. He said, the treasurer doesn't have to guess indiscriminately. We came to Yi Yuan to send the badge today. He passed the assessment of the Association of Chemical Refining Pharmacists yesterday. Since he is not there, we just give the badge to you, and you have to worry about the shopkeeper personally running and send this badge to Yi Yuan's hand. Feng San heard the badge, and his heart suddenly relaxed a lot. The original young master really had a good time. He even passed the Dantu assessment, and the owner was considered a successor. However, he quickly became confused. A badge, how to work the guild? Three giants personally come to the door. Is it true that they sent their badges to be fake? Is it true that they are looking for a big deal? I think this is the only possibility. Yi Yuan is a junior after all. It is impossible for the big three to be so motivated. Although Yi Heng is not qualified, but now because of the Juyuan Dan of the Drunk Star building, the situation of the entire imperial city has become a bit strange, and the big three can also understand Yi Heng. After all, Yi Heng is also a great Dan, and he is also a pivotal figure in the imperial city. One thought of this, Feng San felt that he finally figured out the other party's intentions, and quickly said, no trouble, no trouble. It is an honor for the villain to serve the three adults. I will now go to Danwu College and hand in the badge. Give my family a young master. Jin Fu, give the badge to the treasurer. Wu Daofeng said faintly. Does we run for ourselves? In case, Wang Jinfu did not immediately take out the badge, but hesitated. No, the guild never mixes the local things. We can't break this rule. In our capacity, it is inconvenient to appear at Danwu College. Don't worry, if you talk about alchemy, who else can compare with the Pharmacists Association? Wu Daofeng said. Wang Jinfu's eyes brightened. I will still have a vision for growing up, and I will understand it. After that, Wang Jinfu took out his badge and handed it to Feng San. He said, I am tired of the treasurer, but please do not disclose the matter of sending the badge. Although this matter will not last long, it will be a moment. Feng San can't understand, just a Danshi's badge, how can this adult be so serious? Is it a little fuss? However, When his eyes fell on the badge of Wang Jinfu's hand, he could not help but stare at the badge, and his eyes were rounded. I saw a blue badge above, and actually embroidered 2 stars. Is this not the badge of Dan Shi? Is it wrong? Chapter 70 Closed Door. What? You said that Yi Yuan passed the Danshi assessment with his strength of strength. Zhang Yunhe has not been so ruined for a long time, but the news brought by Feng Ruqing makes him really surprised. Yes, he not only passed the assessment of the junior Danshi, but also refined the second-order intensified Dan in the assessment. After the test, after taking this medicinal medicine, it will have the thread of 5 weights. Strength. If the wind is clear, it is not surprisingly endless. Superproducts, second order, Dan medicine. Yuan, is it a threat to the vitality? Zhang Yunhe's brain was short-circuited, and the things that the wind had to say were completely beyond his knowledge. Seeing Zhang Yunhe is so rude, the wind is clear and the heart is also trying to laugh. She has been to Danwu College for some years, and she has never seen Zhang Yunhe in this state. Is it true that Yi Yuan is born with a powerful soul, and he has already reached the realm of Dan Shi? Half a sigh, Zhang Yunhe asked. If the wind is clear, it is shaking his head. No, his soul is not strong, but he is slightly stronger than the average person. He can refine the second-order remedy because he uses the yin-yang shunt. Hey, yin and yang shunting, even if it is yin and yang shunting, is this too exaggerated? Well, in fact, Yi Yuan's yin and yang shunting has reached the legendary realm. When Feng Ruqing said, he still felt incredible. The legendary world is a legend in itself. It is almost impossible to achieve this state. The refining pharmacists' associations are old, a lot of years old, and no one can practice a refining technique to the legendary world, not to mention the more difficult yin and yang shunt. Zhang Yunhe, who had already been thundered to the outside, was once again thundered. He saw that the wind was clear and sunny, only to make sure she didn't lie. What is the adventure of this leaf far? Is this too ridiculous? Feng Ruqing seems to have been prepared. This kind of thing he naturally refuses to say, but I guess that there should be an extremely powerful refining pharmacist behind Yi Yuan. And this person cannot be his father. In my opinion, this refining pharmacist is definitely more than the realm of Dan Wang. Zhang Yunhe walked back and forth, digesting the news brought by the wind. It seems that the speculation of the wind should be the closest to the truth, otherwise it is impossible to explain that Yi Yuan has such an enchanting alchemy talent at a young age. For a long while, Zhang Yunhe said, "These characters are too terrible, or don't provoke them. It's just that I don't understand. Since Yi Yuan has such a powerful master, how can he put him in Danwu College?" Feng Ruoqing shook his head and said, "I have thought about this question. Is it estimated that I want to train my disciples? Well, there is such a possibility. Oops, you said that Wang Jinfu and Sun Jianming, the 2 bad old men, know this, they will not let go of Yi Yuan. Let's go and find Yi Yuan," said. Zhang Yunhe will rush out. Feng Ruoqing smiled. The dean is relieved. Before I returned to college, I had already visited the medicine incense. Yi Yuan had rushed back to the college yesterday. Wu Daofeng, the president and 2 vice presidents, emptied. Master Yi Heng also happened to be in a retreat. They returned empty-handed. In the end, they only had to ask the treasurer of the medicine Shangge to send the Danshi badge to the college. Zhang Yunhe Desong breathed a sigh of relief and said, "Haha, Wu Laodo will actually eat closed doors. I think his face must be very exciting." Yi Yuan must have expected this scene, so he came back late. It seems that the feelings for the college are very deep. Since Yi Yuan has returned to the college, let him come to see me. No, I personally went to see him. Zhang Yunhe came to Yi Yuan's residence with the wind and did not disturb other people. Seeing a student in person as a person will cause an uproar in the college. However, Zhang Yunhe did not see Yi Yuan, and Yi Yuan went to the practice room once he returned to the college. Zhang Yunhe saw Green Boy and Feng San in Yi Yuan's residence, but they did not know Zhang Yunhe, but the green child was very familiar with the wind. As the wind teacher coming to the young master. Yeah, didn't he come back last night? People, the young master said that he felt that he had to break through, so when he came back, he went to retreat. Feng found himself without seeing him. Zhang Yunhe a glimpse, What to break through? This kid is hiding from everyone. He broke through the fourfold struggle for a few days. How could it break through so quickly? Although Yi Yuan's breakthrough was indeed very fast, it is more difficult for each dimension to rise. It's so heavy that it's so easy to break through. Besides, even if he can break through, but his realm is really too fast, it will definitely affect the future realm, which is too much to lose. After Yi Yuan, there is such a strong teacher, how can he make such a low-level mistake? Therefore, Yi Yuan is definitely hiding from everyone. This kid, it is irresponsible to make such a big storm, but he hides and does not see everyone. Zhang Yunhe felt very depressed. He came to see a younger generation as he was, and actually ate a closed door. He was still laughing at Wu Daofeng just now. He didn't expect the current newspaper to be so fast. But I have to say that retreat is a perfect excuse. The most taboo of the military practitioners is that they are disturbed when they are closed. Even if Zhang Yunhe is the dean, it is impossible to disturb Yi Yuan's retreat. If the wind is sunny, I didn't expect it to be the result. I was helpless. That, green girl, we are bothered. If Yi Yuan is out, please ask the green girl to tell him to let him go to the back of the mountain to find the hospital. Growing up. Greener blinked and nodded. The wind teacher is relieved, and the green child writes down. The green child was innocent, and did not know the meaning of the wind, but Feng San was proficient in the world. He heard a shock and his eyes sneaked a glance at Zhang Yunhe. He originally only felt the power of this person faintly, but at the moment he guessed the identity of Zhang Yunhe. Feng San did not expect that the dean of the Tang dynasty Danwu College even condescended to come to Yi Yuan personally. Recalling that Wu Daofeng's adult was also sending a badge to the door this morning, Feng San's inner shock was unparalleled. Since getting the badge in the morning, Feng San knows that Wu Daofeng is not looking for Yi Hang, they are looking for Yi Yuan. In the drug incense cabinet, I have been a treasurer for so many years. No one knows better than him. What does it mean to be a four-powered Dan teacher? The two most powerful and powerful people in Qin State, at the same time, come to the door to find their own young master. Call. Seeing Zhang Yunhe and the wind go far, Feng San took a long breath. Yi Yuan's young master is really not the same as before. He has grown from a shackle to the top genius of the whole Qin dynasty. Even the big guys like Zhang Yunhe and Wu Daofeng are rushing to win the young masters. Green children, let's leave our family, Yi Yuan, the young master. Feng San said with sincerity. Greener is grinning and laughing. The young master has always been very powerful, but you have misunderstood him before. Feng San looked at the green child, but it was speechless. Chapter 71 Design. Yi Yuan is indeed hiding from everyone, but he is indeed in retreat. Since the four realms of solidarity have been consolidated, he can't wait to improve his strength. Refining the second-order medicinal herbs, Yi Yuan's Yuan Li has been completely overdrawn, and it has indeed brought a great burden to his body. Yi Yuan is now regaining the power of consumption, adjusting his state to the best, and then taking the super product Dan, intending to break through to 6 vitality. Of course, the breakthrough to the 6 vitality, the time it takes to spend is far from the original weight of 1 to 3. The second step of the meta-environment, every time you upgrade a small realm, the required strength is much more than before. Although Yi Yuan has enough super products, he still needs time to digest. Moreover, he cultivated the Lingyang Juyang God, and the amount of energy to be spent is several times that of ordinary people. However, Yi Yuan is not in a hurry. He has time. Let me shut down for a few days and let those people go to work. Zhang Yunhe is indeed very busy. When he is looking for Yi Yuan, he left Danwu College. In fact, Zhang Yunhe has always been very busy. There is very little time in the college. No one knows what he is going to do. These days he also happened to return to the college, only to know that a bright star appeared in January. However, Yi Yuan is a genius, and it takes time to grow up. He is only 4 years old. As long as Yi Yuan is at Danwu College, Zhang Yunhe will not worry about running this day. Since Yi Yuan chose Danwu College, Wu Daofeng could not come to Danwu College to dig people. After the initial shock, and figured out this section, Zhang Yunhe naturally has to go to his own business. It is impossible to wait for Yi Yuan to go out here. At this time, Greener ushered in an unexpected guest, a disciple who claimed to be a college chores found her. As this sister a green child, the disciples of the chores are quite proud. Some of the green children are unknown, but they should still say, yes, dare to ask this brother. I am a disciple of the chores, named Zhong Heng. It turned out to be Master Zhong Heng. I don't know if I am looking for a green child. Although the green child is innocent, but not stupid, this will not find himself for no reason. And looking at the attitude does not seem to be very friendly. Sure enough, Zhong Heng said, it is natural to find you. You have passed the entry assessment and become a junior in the college. Why not come to the chores? Green child looked blank. She never knew that there was this rule. She became a student of the college, but also to report to the chores. Sister brother Mingjian, green children just got started. There are still many things that don't understand. Just don't know why you become a Huang class student. Do you want to report to the chores? Green children are not humble. Zhong Heng's face sneered and said, there is such a big Danwu Academy, to support so many students, is it to eat the mountain? Since we become a disciple of the college, we naturally have to contribute to the college. Level students must go to the chores to do a month of chores. This is the rules of the college. You become a disciple of the college, but it is not a good idea to study the rules and regulations, and let other people help you with the chores. It is shameful. This Zhong Heng did not lie. Danwu College did have such a rule, but this is a bit heavy for a girl. Moreover, green is not deliberately absenteeism, but really does not understand anything. She was admitted to the hospital for only a few days. Even if it was really completed, there would be no big deal. Zhong Heng said that it is obviously a pick. I don't think how to do a month's work, but now Yi Yuan is retreating. If I can't find myself, I will be anxious. Can the brothers wait for me for a few days? My young master is now retreating. If I can't find it, I will be anxious. When my grandfather leaves the customs, I must report to the chores. Green was careful. Who knows Zhong Hengyi listened to the anger. Jokes. What is your family's young master? Can you go over the hospital rules? You have been delayed for a few days. How many more days do you want to delay? Every introductory disciple will be recorded. They will take the initiative to do things, but you are the exception. Greener heard Zhong Heng actually insulted the young master, and his tears twitched in his eyes, but she knew that the young master had the opponent of Wang Yuan in the college and didn't want to trouble the young master. So he resisted the tears. Green asked the brother for a few days of grace. I will definitely go to report, and it will be fine to arrange for me to do 2 months. Zhong Heng does not seem to have the feelings of pity and jealousy. He sneered. In short, I have already notified you. I will not go to your own account. But I am ugly in the front. If I can't see you going to the chores today, don't blame me. Report the matter to the teacher. According to the rules of the hospital, you are waiting to be fired. Hearing the word expulsion, the green child was shocked. The young master is now in full swing. If she is fired, is it not the laughing stock of the young master? That is not the result that green children want to see. There is no doubt that these 2 words have poked the soft underbelly of green. Seeing the green child's soul is not guarding, Zhong Heng's eyes reveal a playful look. Hey, wait until your young master comes out, what else is there? Just because he knows that he is retreating, he came to you for trouble. Zhong Heng sneered in his heart. Zhong Heng was premature, turned and prepared to leave. When the green child saw it, he did not dare to delay. He quickly shouted. The brothers are slow. I am going to the chores with you. Just, can you let me leave a note to my young master? To say that green is too simple, I thought that this Heng Gang is not good, will find yourself, I know that he is deliberate, just to find the next. If green is secretly leaving a token or a note, Yi Yuan will know what happened. But now she tells Zhong Heng to leave a note. How is Zhong Heng like he wants? Zhong Heng is impatient. When you want to go, how come so many things? I will go first, you can handle it yourself. After that, I really turned and walked away. Green child hesitated for a moment, went back to the house and left a note to go out. Of course, the green child did not know that her note leaves could not be seen at all. Yi Yuan is ignorant of everything that has happened in the outside world. He is now at an important juncture of five-fold impact. He will throw the super products into the import, and continue to refine the medicine with the Lingyang Juyang God. The strength of Dantian is getting more and more abundant, and it is getting closer and closer to the five elements. Finally, Yi Yuan broke through the level in one breath, breaking through the five-fold vitality. Call, if you go on like this, Yuan Dan is not enough. This is too rude to break the law. This is still a meta-environment. The consumption is several times larger than the average person. If you get to the spiritual environment, you still have it. I have a lot of money, I can't stand it, I am so tossed. Yi Yuan looked at the super-productive Dan, which was consumed a lot, and couldn't help but groan for the Lingyang Juyang God. Chapter 72 Lin Tiancheng's Plan. 2 days later, in the medicine garden of Haoshan, a little girl in a green dress was weeding. The little girl had a lot of dirt on her face, and the hair was a little messy. The sweat of the forehead fell and the clothes on her body were scratched a lot. The appearance was very pitiful. However, the little girl was very stubborn on her face and still clenched her teeth. This little girl is the green child who was forced by Zhang Hengwei. In the past 2 days, she almost worked in the medicine garden and did not stop. In the past, the delicate green children have disappeared, and they are replaced by sly and tired faces. For the warrior, weeding is not too hard work, even if it is not sleepy for a few days, it is not so. However, weeding in the medicinal garden is not so easy. The weeds in Lingtian are deeply rooted by the strong nourishment of the heavens and the earth. If you want to eradicate it, you must use it. In this way, weeding becomes a chore. No one in the college is willing to do such a job, so it will allow some newcomers who have just passed the entry assessment to do this kind of thing. In fact, most of these chores are civilian children. The aristocrats can easily avoid it if they take a little bit of it. Zhang Heng, on the grounds of Green's escaping from chores, arranged for her to have more work than others. Green children had almost no rest on these 2 days, but only completed less than half of the workload. Due to the continuous consumption of power in the past 2 days, Green's physical strength has been overdrawn, and such a tired state will appear. In the small attic of the drug garden, the 2 teenagers are teasing and talking, and they look very comfortable. Lin Shi brother, tortured such a petite and beautiful person into this, the younger brother I can't bear. Zhang Heng shook his head and sighed, but the expression on his face, but did not bear it. The teenager sitting opposite him is Lin Tiancheng, and it is his plan to find the trouble of finding green children. At Danwu College, the number of students in the heavens is very small, and their status is very detached. The colleges generally do not arrange for them to do specific things, as long as they practice hard. Most of the college's chores are managed by prefecture-level students. Zhao Chunyong, who guards the Tibetan Buddhist scriptures, is the messenger dispatched by the chores. Therefore, the power of the chores is actually very large, and there are many means for wanting the whole person. Yi Yuan did not know that the chief disciple of the chores was Lin Tiancheng. In addition to a less careful lesson, Lin Tiancheng's power is the biggest. Since the last time I was humiliated by the leaves of the magic tower, and Lu Ruishui was on the side, Lin Tian's achievements hated Yi Yuan. Yi Yuan is now in the middle of the school, he naturally does not dare to find the suffocation of Yi Yuan, but the trouble of finding green children is not difficult. 2 days ago, he heard that Yi Yuan was just retreating, so he found a reason to send Zhang Heng to find the trouble of green children, and sent her to the medicine garden to weed. Lin Tiancheng drank a cup of tea and smiled and said, "You don't want to be with me here. I don't know you yet. Let you take charge of this medicine garden. You don't know how many girl students will be harmed. You will have a pity for a little girl." Zhang Heng heard a ha-ha and smiled. This is also thanks to Lin Shishang's care. So Lin Shishang came to me, I did it without saying anything. Lin Tiancheng nodded. Count your kid to know each other. I am very satisfied with this incident. How do you want to get the chick? How do you get it? Don't give me face. Zhang Hengwen flashed a sinister expression in his eyes and said, really? Nature is true. I really want to see. After Yi Yuan went out and saw that his maid was ruined, what would it look like? When talking about Yi Yuan, Lin Tiancheng was full of hate. On the day of the magic tower, Yi Yuan made him lose face. Later, The day's affairs were spread privately by many students, which made him lose prestige among the students below the prefecture level. This is why he wants revenge so much. Zhang Heng excitedly said. In this case, my brother and I are not welcome. Lin Shishong really gave the younger brother a big gift. Although this little girl is not old, but the appearance is the top position. I am afraid that Yi Yi will go out and go to the door to find her anger. Lin Tiancheng looked at Zhang Heng with a faint look and sneered. That Yi Yuan is far more powerful, but he is only 4-powered. You are also awe-inspiring, will you be afraid of him? He wants to find anger, let him come. Now, when I give him a violent blow, it just happens to be my bad breath. When he grows up, you are all graduated, afraid of him doing it. Zhang Heng heard great praise. Haha, Lin's brother is far-sighted and takes all things into consideration. I have some expectations now, and Yi Yuan's anger is ruined. After that, Lin Tiancheng and Zhang Heng looked at each other and laughed at the same time. Lin Tiancheng naturally did not know Yi Yuan's performance in the magic tower. He also thought that he did not challenge the advanced level assessment at the same time. The result was spiked. While Yi Yuan was in danger and dangerous when he passed the advanced level, it seems to him that Yi Yuanding is also a powerful athlete. Zhang Heng is a little older, but he is already a veteran of the old-fashioned. He also has the strength of the more order battle, and naturally he cannot be defeated by Yi Yuan. Yi Yuan's retreat is 4 days. At this time, the strength of Yi Yuanden's field was raging, and it constantly hit the bottleneck of vitality. 3 days ago, Yi Yuan had already broken through to 5 strengths. Slightly consolidate the realm, Yi Yuan will continue to take the super product Dan, the impact of 6 vitality. For him, there is not much difference between the 5-fold vitality and the 6-fold vitality. It is just how much super products are spent. Yi Yuan will continue to subdue the super products, and then continue to use the Lingyang Juyang God to quench the strength. Finally, after serving hundreds of super powerful Dan, Yi Yuan broke through to 6 strengths in one fell swoop. Once again breaking through the 2 realms, Yi Yuan feels full of strength, there is a feeling of not vomiting. Running Yuan Li, Yi Yuan swayed out, and the air in the practice room was compressed by his palm to the extreme, and the sound of a beep explosion. Boom! The wall of the practice room is recessed into a big hole. This big hole is much bigger than when he first came in using the wave of the waves, not a level of attack. The walls of this exercise room are specially made, which can perfectly withstand the full blow of the spirits. Can make such a big hole in the wall, showing how terrible the attack power of Yi Yuan. Hey, if you enter the magic tower again and make the 8 waves, you should be able to kill 3 black warriors. Hey, wait until you break through to the 7 powerful, then go to the magic tower and try it out. Yi Yuan glanced at it. The big hole in the wall, talking to himself. There are already 4 or 5 daylight scenes. I don't know what's going on outside. If you don't go out, the green child should be anxious, it's time to go out. Chapter 73 Green children are in danger. The green child squatted down and smashed the weeds under the herbs. These weeds are very stubborn, and it takes a lot of effort for Green to remove one. Despite this, these days of green children are not slamming. She didn't want to trouble the young master, and she didn't want to smear the young master's face. The speed of weeding in the first 2 days was also very fast, but her speed dropped sharply in the past 2 days because the power in her body had dried up. Every time, Green will have to meditate for a while to restore strength, but these forces are quickly consumed. As a result, her weeding speed becomes much slower. She had completed nearly half of the progress 2 days ago, and she only completed 70% of the progress in these 2 days, and it was getting slower and slower. Green's physical strength has been overdrawn, her upper eyelids have been fighting with the lower eyelids, but a strong obsession is supporting her. Suddenly, there was a pair of feet in the green child's sight. On the green face, I couldn't help but look up. But this look up, she is disappointed. The coming is not a young master, but the abominable Zhang brother. Zhang Heng saw Green's disappointed eyes and sneered aloud. How? Didn't you see the person you want to see? Green children don't speak. Zhang Heng's attitude towards Green child is very uncomfortable. He is annoyed. Hey. Give you the task of weeding. You have only finished 70% until now. Is there so much left for me to help you? Greener wiped the sweat from his forehead and was powerless. I have worked very hard, and my brother will be able to finish the day and I will finish it. One day. I can't finish it for 3 days. I haven't finished the task for 4 or 5 days. It must be lazy. Zhang Heng said coldly. Green Child shook his head again and again. I don't have it, I really tried to weed it. Hey, do you have any hard work? I naturally know that your defense is useless. In order to punish you for being lazy, you must weed another herb field. Greener heard a sigh of relief. What? Then, weeding a field of medicine. I. What are you? Do you want to do it? You can do it if you don't want to do it. Go back and pack up and get ready to get out of the college. Zhang Heng did not have the meaning of pity. But I already. You have no strength to do it again. Zhang Heng suddenly laughed. Green Children nodded with a lack of energy. I can do it if I don't want to do it, but you have to promise me a condition. Zhang Heng suddenly turned his head and said. Green did not expect Zhang Heng to suddenly let go, naively thought that he was telling the truth, could not help but said, Is it true? Zhang brothers, please say. Zhang Heng's face suddenly smiled with a bad smile, and Green's face changed. Only then did Zhang know that Zhang Heng was not well. Sure enough, Zhang Heng said, I don't think the green girl is so. My condition is very simple, as long as the green girl is willing to accompany me for one night. How? Is this sale cost-effective? Green Children are not stupid people, but they are too shallow to understand the world. She originally thought that Zhang Heng was just a person who was unreasonable. Now it seems that he is a well-dressed animal. I am afraid that he has already made up this idea, and he will be blamed for himself. Hey, it turns out that you are such a sly person, seeing that I don't tell you about teaching. Green Children hate. Ha 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 ha, it's a joke. You are just a newcomer who disobeys the brothers and sisters. Because of your hatred, you are so depraved. You are talking about teaching. Do you believe in me, or believe me? Zhang Heng seems to have expected this. Big smiled. Zhang Heng said this. Green is stunned. Zhang Heng was able to manage the drug garden for such a long time, indicating that the teaching must trust him. Even if he went to complain, Zhang Heng said that the teachings would really think that it was his own hatred that would ruin the brothers. You are a despicable villain. Green was shivered by Zhang Heng and pointed at his nose. Zhang Heng didn't care at all. Sneer. Green, you have to think about it. If your young master is out of the customs, I heard that his maid was expelled from college and didn't know what it would be. The Green Child was shocked and the body shivered involuntarily. Zhang Heng saw the expression of Green Child, and his heart was more proud. He continued. Your young master is now a red man of the college, but his maid has been driven out of the college. Later, as long as he is in the college, someone is there. He pointed at him behind him, and he laughed that he couldn't even bring his maid. When the Green Child lost his soul, Zhang Heng gradually approached the Green Child. As he approached, he said, I am not as good as your young master, but there are people with faces in the college. I will not let you suffer. How? It is just a night. During the conversation, Zhang Heng wanted to lift the green chin with his fingers. The Green Child suddenly felt amazed and immediately jumped away. Hey, you are dead this heart. I am dead will not let the young master shame. After that, Greener lifted his palm and took it to his own celestial cover. This palm is a real shot, she must be a fragrant jade. Zhang Heng did not expect that Green Children would be so determined. Even if he did not hesitate to commit suicide and refused to submit, he was now angry. Although the Green Child is progressing rapidly, but in front of Zhang Heng, who is full of vitality, he is still weak. And she is exhausted, how can she succeed in suicide? Snapped. Zhang Heng did not know when there was a soft whip, rolled up the Green Child's arm and rolled her up. In this area, Greener fell out. Yeah, Green Children fell to the ground and snorted. Snapped. Another whip. The whip was heavily pumped on the Green Child, and the Green Child suddenly had a blood mark and soaked the clothes. I don't know how to lift the hoe. Want to die? It's not that easy. Zhang Heng is also annoyed. If Green is really committing suicide, he will not blame. He will graduate soon, but he doesn't want to be in the evening. Green's behavior is to add to him. Ah! Greener screamed, but he refused to crawl forward and wanted to grab a blue thing. Just when Green's hand was about to be caught, the blue thing was stepped on by Zhang Heng. "Give me the badge," Greener shouted with a sharp pain. Zhang Heng removed his foot and glanced at the blue thing on the ground. It was really a badge with 2 stars embroidered on it. It turned out to be the badge of a junior Dan. What is my opinion? It turned out to be the Danshi badge. I didn't expect you to be admitted to the hospital for a few days, and you stole such a valuable thing. With this, you are enough to be fired. After that, Zhang Heng kicked the badge out of the distance. Of course, he still doesn't know that Yi Yuan has passed the Danshi assessment and officially became a junior Dan, otherwise he will not dare to abuse the Green Child if he borrows a few courage. Green Child looked at Zhang Heng so badly to the young master's badge, the pain in his heart was even more uncomfortable than the body, tears finally could not help but fall down. Seeing the pitiful appearance of the Green Child, Zhang Heng couldn't resist the animal hair, and reached out to the green clothes, and then tore off a piece of clothing. Then he grabbed the Green Child and dragged her to the corner, and even wanted to violence in the sky. Chapter 74 Soul, Green Children. Green Children. Yi Yuan returned to his place of residence and shouted for Green Children, but no one responded. Yi Yuan is very confused. Green Children should wait here for their own customs. Where have people gone? Green is very well behaved. If there is something really wrong, I should leave a message for myself, but Yi Yuan has searched the residence but has not found any clues. Asked about the neighbors, no one knows. Zhang Heng's heart is quite deep, and the time he picked was the time of class, so the students were basically in class. After Green entered the college, she always followed Yi Yuan. She only went to class when Yi Yuan was in class. Yi Yuan retreat. She did not have the mind to go to class, but just gave Zhang Heng can take the opportunity. Strange. Where did the Green Child go? Is it because of this? There are people who dare to kidnap in this Danwu Academy. Yi Yuan sat down at the table and meditated. Will Green Boy go to Tang Yu? Here, Green is also a friend of Tang Yu. Thinking of Tang Yu, Yi Yuan's heart was loose, and he was going out to find Tang Yu, but he heard a knock on the door. Open the door and see, not who was Tang Yu. When Tang Yu saw Yi Yuan, he couldn't help but say, I guess that Yi Shishong should also go out, so I came over and saw it. I didn't expect it to happen. Hey, you are already 6-powered. Tang Yu's eyes are stunned, and Yi Yuan's progress is too horrible. With the help of Yi Yuan, he himself was able to break through 6 times. A month ago, when Tang Yu saw Yi Yuan for the first time, he was still alive. A month later, Yi Yuan has already been at the same level as him. Think of Yi Yuan's killing of the shadow. Tang Yu believes that if he and Yi Yuan fight, Yi Yuan can definitely kill him. Tang Yu now feels that Yi Yuan in front of him is like a dragon that has gone out of its way, flying into the sky, no one can stop it. Tang Yu was immersed in shock and did not find that Yi Yuan's face was not very good. Yi Yuan looked at Tang Yu's back and was convinced that he was alone. His face became very ugly. He waved his hand and ignored the shock of Tang Yu. He asked, How come you are alone? Tang Yu stunned and wondered, I am not alone or a few people. Yi Yuan brows a wrinkle. I have closed the door these days. Did the Green Child have not been looking for you? Tang Yu was shocked, but he shook his head. No, I have been busy all these days. I haven't seen the Green Child. She hasn't looked for me. Why, isn't there something wrong with Green? At this time, Yi Yuan was somewhat restless. I couldn't find her after I came back for a long time. I have a bad feeling and I always feel that something happened to her. Maybe Green Children wait for you to be bored, and ran out of fun. This is Danwu College, there should be nothing wrong with it, Yi brothers don't have to worry. Tang Yu advised. Yi Yuan sighed and said, I hope so. The house was temporarily silent, and Yi Yuan's inner uneasiness was getting stronger and stronger. He suddenly stood up and said to Tang Yu, Tang brothers please come back, I still have some concerns about Green Children, I am going to find her. I will go with them too. The chances of finding them by 2 people are always bigger. Tang Yu Dao. Yi Yuan shook his head and said, "No, I will go alone." After that, Yi Yuan picked up a green child's clothes and went out. Yi Yuan did not find a mess, he went directly to the alchemy room of the wind. After returning from the imperial city, the wind is not only clear but the realm is broken, and the perception of yin and yang shunting is much deeper. These days, the leaves are far from closed, and she naturally hides in the alchemy room to practice yin and yang shunting. If the wind sees Yi Yuan, it is quite strange, but Yi Yuan does not have the opportunity to speak to her. "I want to borrow your alchemy room and prepare me a few materials." When he threw it to the wind and cleared a piece of paper, Yi Yuan went straight into the alchemy room, as if the alchemy room was his own. Yi Yuan's words are equivalent to giving orders. The wind is very annoyed by his attitude, but he is not surprisingly angry because she has never seen such a terrible look on Yi Yuan's face. If the wind is clear and thoughtful, I know what must have happened. But who let me owe him? If the wind is clear and secluating, I really want to prepare the materials needed by Yi Yuan like a maid. If someone else sees the Princess Qin Guochang's princess doing such things, isn't he still stunned? When the wind is not sunny, it will come back. The materials that Yi Yuan needs are common materials, and it is not difficult to find them. It is naturally the hand of the wind. It's just that the wind is very clear, and Yi Yuan wants to refine anything. The materials needed by Yi Yuan are not all medicinal materials, and there are other materials that are impossible to refine. Handing the material to Yi Yuan, Feng Ruoqing couldn't help but ask, "There are several medicines that are not medicinal materials. What kind of materials do you want to refine?" Yi Yuan took over the material, indifferent. "You don't have to worry, just look at it, get angry." Are you really taking me to the next person? The wind is too clear, and this guy is too arrogant. If you don't help, go to the side, don't delay me. Yi Yuan's words are getting colder and colder. The ghost made the difference, and if the wind was fine, it came to the side of Honglian Ding, and helped Yi Yuan open the fire. Yi Yuanjian did not express anything. He is now in a hurry, but he knows that the more he is anxious, the more he needs to be calm, not to be distracted. From the fire, Yi Yuan began to refine. This refining system is not earth-shattering, but some refining techniques that seem very simple, but this technique has never been seen before. There is no process of dispensing, and there is no process of refining the drug embryo. Yi Yuan ignites the material and looks quite relaxed. After half an hour, the results of Yi Yuan's refining system came out. It was a chalk-like thing, but the appearance was gray-black. "What is this?" Feng Ruoqing asked again curiously. "Inspire the soul." Yi Yuan did not refuse to answer this time, but when he spoke, he took a long breath and his undulating chest showed his embarrassment at this time. Inspiring the soul, what to do? Feng Ruoqing has never heard of such things, curious. Yi Yuan did not answer, but threw the soul-scented incense onto the piece of clothing he brought, and then single-handedly slammed a flame. The temperature of the fire was extremely high, and instantly burned the green clothes. Blue smoke. However, the magic is that the blue smoke is actually condensed in the air. The next moment, the blue smoke moved, Yi Yuan also moved. "Where are you going? If the wind is clear," it is said. Yi Yuan ignored her, and went out with the smoke. If the wind is sunny and biting, he hesitated for a moment and followed. Chapter 75 I really want to kill. Green children struggle with only the strength of the place, but this struggle is so vain, so helpless. She is now exhausted and can't even commit suicide. Green's heart is becoming more and more scared and more powerless. If she is defiled by such a guy, she would rather die. Snapped. Zhang Hengyi slaps on the face of the green child and swears, "The little slut, this is not so honest, it is really owing." The green child slaps and suddenly his face is swollen. She was lying on the ground and didn't move. It seemed to be a fate. Zhang Heng saw a smile and said, "Yes, this is like a word. Rest assured, after today, you can't leave my brother. Ha ha." After that, Zhang Heng leaned over to the animal. However, at this time, Zhang Heng's body pores stood up, and a sense of crisis came. Zhang Heng jumped instinctively, and an ice arrow swept his face and flew over. Fortunately, his reaction was fast enough, otherwise the ice arrow had already passed through the throat. Retreat to the side, Zhang Heng behind the cold sweat. Who can think of a little girl who has no power to fight back, can she make such a powerful attack? However, Zhang Heng immediately became angry, and the green child almost killed him. The green child struggled to climb up. At this time, the temperament of the whole person changed greatly, and the feeling of coldness was revealed on the body. That kind of coldness, as if even the air can freeze. The hair of the green child was covered with a layer of hoarfrost, and his face became pale and abnormal. Zhang Heng looked at the changes of the green child, and laughed loudly. It turns out that you are a 9 negative pulse. As a 9 yin dynasty, you dare to practice yuanli. I really don't know how to live and die. Now I am cold and poisonous, I see how you suppress it. At this time, the sun is booming, but the green child feels like being in the hail, coming out of the bones and deep into the bone marrow. This is the ultimate, Xuanbingwei dust, in the magical hail. This move is a ban in the fantasy hail. When Yi Yuan taught the green child, she told her that she should never use it. Because this move is to trigger the 9 yin and ruin, the cold ice in the heavens and the earth is introduced into the body in exchange for a temporary powerful force. The name, to the dust, means that after the dust has been returned to the earth, it is the same as the enemy. At this time, the momentum of the green child skyrocketed, directly breaking through the threshold of the 4 vitality, crossed the 5-fold vitality, and finally stayed in the vitality 6. The time for green children to practice Tian Xing Hail is still too short. Although it is progressing fast, it is not deep in comprehension. If you change to the spirit of the snow god to display Zonbing to the dust, even if she only has the strength of strength, it can directly upgrade the strength to the great vitality. The strength of the green child skyrocketed, although Zhang Heng was surprised, but did not care too much. 6 yuan is still a small step worse than him. However, he is very annoyed now, because green just killed him almost, making him feel very shameful. The ice arrow also extinguished his bath fire. What he now thinks is how to send the green child to the west. Direct killing is definitely not acceptable and will be punished by the rules of the hospital. However, since this gimmick is a yin-yin, she can't blame herself for her own death. Don't be a child, come to life. Green child with 1 hand and 1 condensation, an ice arrow once again formed, shot to Zhang Heng. Zhang Heng sneered and easily avoided the past. This ice arrow attack power is strong, but what is the use of not playing people? Just now, he was unprepared, and he was almost successfully attacked by Green Boy. Now he is facing the fight, and he naturally can't go any further. After all, Green is not Yi Yuan. She lacks practical experience and can't control the strength of leaps and bounds. Such a straightforward attack naturally does not cause trouble for the powerful Zhang Heng. However, Green did not care. Before using Zon Bingwei, she had a death in her heart. Green children believe that even if they can't kill this guy, the young master will come to avenge himself. This kind of attack wants to deal with me. You are too small to see the strength of the classmates. Zhang Heng said with a look. Hey, thousands of magical ice. Green children sip lightly, hands slightly open, forming a spherical shape. Soon, there were countless hail in the palm of her hand, and then the palms were pushed, and the hail was shot at Zhang Heng. Zhang Heng was shocked. He did not expect that the attack methods of green children would end up in an endless stream. This hail is a range attack. Zhang Heng's speed is fast, but still a few hail. However, the attack power of these hail is far worse than that of the ice arrow. In addition, Zhang Heng's Yuanli shield is very powerful, and this kind of attack cannot cause substantial harm to him. Hey, little girl, you are looking for death yourself, you can't blame me. Snake Shadow Whip. Zhang Heng whip was done, and the angle of this whip was very sturdy, and it was almost like a green child. At this time, Greener knew that she was not Zhang Heng's opponent. She had already had a death sorrow in her heart. She did not evade this whip. On the green child's face, a mocking smile suddenly appeared, and Zhang Heng was shocked. I saw the green hands fast moving, even instantly condensed into a few ice arrows. Green children do not do defense at all, it is actually a game of defeat. Zhang Heng didn't think that Green was so fearless that he didn't want to die. So he slammed his whip and changed his thorns into a stir. He quickly smashed several ice arrows into pieces. His strength is stronger than that of green children, and his combat experience is also too rich. Green children want to hurt him in front, which is harder than going to heaven. Zhang Heng shattered the ice arrow and slammed it up again. Greener had just exhausted Yuan Li's blow, and at this time he was completely unsustainable, so he simply gave up the resistance and closed his eyes to death. Young master, green child can't serve you by the side, you have to take care of yourself. 2 lines of tears fell, and then instantly formed into ice beads. Zhang Heng knows that Green is not afraid of death, but he did not expect that Green is so desperate to die. He did not directly resist. He didn't stop the trick, and if he was squatting Green, she would die. One move, Zhang Heng has already caught up, and it is necessary to hit the green child, and spurt out in a stab. Kai! The strength actually directly knocked the soft whip. Zhang Heng's heart is big. Although his soft whip is not a weapon of the gods, but the whip is filled with Yuan Li, can directly pierce people, and was actually hit by a blow. Who is it? Despicable and shameless, dare to attack? Zhang Heng said with great anger. A young boy in Xingyi floated out and fell beside the green child. He didn't look at Zhang Heng's eyes, picked up the green child, took out a medicinal herb and gave it to her. Green, the young master is late. Greener opened his eyes in exhaustion, seeing Yi Yuan, and recovered a trace of scorpion. Don't talk, you look at the side, the young master helps you out. Later, Yi Yuan's tone gradually became cold. Yi Yuan will help the green child to the side and stand up loudly. I want to kill people now, who is stopping me is my enemy, not endless. Chapter 76 The Strong Break the Rules. I want to kill people now, who is stopping me is my enemy, not dead. Yi Yuan's words are said to the wind, and he knows that the wind is coming. If the wind is clear, he can't kill Zhang Heng. This is a warning. No one responded, but this is already a default. Zhang Heng likes to hear a funny joke. He laughed and said, ha ha ha, kill me. What kind of leaf is you? Just rely on you 6 yuan, you want to kill me more. Your master and servant, the two are really the same, not self-reliant. Yi Yuan did not say anything, faintly said, is it your own opinion or is someone instructing you? Say it, spare you not to die. Yi Yuan and Zhang Heng have nothing to do with each other. Green children are even less likely to attract anyone, so he can't believe that the other person has forced Green to such a desperate situation for no reason. Zhang Heng just recognized Yi Yuan at a glance, which further confirmed his speculation. It's a joke. You are 6-powered, and you are out of madness. You thought that you passed the metaphysical advancement and raised the realm. Is there capital in the old-level classmates clamoring? Rao the first don't die. You are Rao, show it to me. Although Zhang Heng was amazed at the speed of Yi Yuan's progress, he did not think he could threaten himself. He is 3 times higher than Yi Yuan, and there is a small step in the middle. This strength gap is not so easy to make up. Zhang Heng admits that Yi Yuan is a genius, but he can enter Danwu College and become a prefecture-level student. Which one is not a genius in genius? Yi Yuan sighed and said, there is no common language with asterisk asterisk. Since you don't say it, then I will call you to say it. Yi Yuan is not nonsense, raising his hand as a stack of waves. 8 waves. Hey, I don't know what to do, but I dare to look down on me, to single-handedly against the enemy. Zhang Heng naturally won't wait for him. He lost his weapon, and this is also a pair of flesh. Plain palm. Zhang Heng's hand is also a first-class martial arts. This kind of Zhang Zonggung has also made a lot of effort, and has already reached the realm of Dacheng, and he is a pair of palms, and the power of the use is naturally more. Zhang Heng's mouth is tilted up, as if he saw the picture of Yi Yuan's serious injury. The 3 palms touched each other, and things did not follow Zhang Heng's imagination. He felt a huge force coming from the other side of the palm, and passed through his own palms to the whole body. Hey! Zhang Heng snorted, blood in his mouth rushed, and the whole person was hit hard and flew out. Now, can you say that? Yi Yuan still speaks faintly, without feelings. Yi Yuan's palm is full of anger, and it's just 8 waves. The wave of waves and the waves of the palms of the 8 waves, that is, even the spirit of a heavy liquid can kill the palm of the hand Zhang Heng actually dared to hardly pick up. He does not die without heaven. However, this palm leaf has been deliberately collected, but it has seriously injured Zhang Heng, in order to ask the people behind him. Yi Yuan took 2 steps forward and came to Zhang Heng, overlooking him, indifferent. Now, can you say that? Hey, Zhang Heng spit out another blood. He now has his entire arm interrupted, and the guilt is also seriously injured and looks very miserable. I will not be treated again, and I will not be able to use it for a long time. Say your uncle. Ha, ha ha, you have the ability to kill me. Danwu College rules, students cannot kill each other. You kill. Zhang Hengku's blood filled with teeth, smirked. Yi Yuan looked at Zhang Heng mercifully, indifferent. The yard rules. The yard rules are only used to bind you to this mediocrity. The real powerhouse will break all the rules and create your own rules. People like you, it can only live forever in the rules of others. It is pathetic. Ha ha ha, who can't say the big words? Have the ability, you break the rules and show me. A 6-powered guy, even talking about breaking the rules, it's ridiculous. Zhang Heng apparently did not believe that Yi Yuan dared to violate the rules of the hospital, because all the people who violated the rules of the college in the history of the school were executed. Except that person. Yes. Then I will break the rules now, you can't see it. Yi Yuan raised his palm again, and the faint force was lingering between his palms. At this moment, Zhang Hengqing clearly felt the killing scent from Yi Yuan. For Yi Yuan, Green Child is one of his closest people, and Zhang Heng actually forced her to use Zan Bingwei dust. Yi Yuan's past life did not have the ability to protect his loved ones. In this life, he thought that he would never let his loved ones get hurt. He did not expect to encounter such a thing. Yi Yuan's self-blame has already left the anger. This palm did not hesitate to take it down, and Zhang Heng no longer doubted Yi Yuan's determination. I said, don't kill me. I am just being instructed. Zhang Heng finally couldn't bear the pressure and quickly shouted. Say. Yi Yuan's palm did not open. He was waiting for Zhang Heng's answer. I said, but you must promise not to kill me, otherwise I would rather die than say. Zhang Heng threatened his heart. Yes, then you will take it to the coffin. Yi Yuan urged his hand and was closer to Zhang Heng. Don't stop. I said. Yes, it was Lin Tiancheng's brother who told me to do it. I really only listened to him. He is the chief disciple of the chores. I don't listen to him. Yeah. Teacher, I beg you to let me go. I will help you to prove Lin Tiancheng. I don't know where Zhang Heng came from, but I climbed up and hugged Yi Yuan's thigh and cried. Well, you can die. Yi Yuan's palm spit, and Zhang Henglian's voice didn't come out. Regardless of whether he is obeying or not, he will force him to make the Green Child like this, and it's hard to blame. Lin Tiancheng. Yi Yuan thought for a moment, only to think of this Lin Tiancheng is who is also. He did not expect that such a small person would have made the Green Child like this. As long as he knew this, he should take precautions early. At this moment, Green's movement alerted Yi Yuan, and he quickly went to the Green Child. Green Child has been unable to stand up, she is climbing forward. Green, what are you doing? Anything tells me, I will help you. Yi Yuan rushed to the side and shouted. The Green Child still moved forward a little bit, and finally moved to the front of the blue badge. She reached for the Danshi badge and squatted on her chest, as if this blue badge was the whole of her life. Yi Yuan quickly picked up the Green Child. After the Green Child got the badge, she finally couldn't support it. She was comatose, but her mouth was still smiling and satisfied. When I saw the things in the hands of the Green children, I couldn't help but feel a pain. A badge that is irrelevant to him, Green is so cherished. Green, thank you, let's go home. Chapter 77. Have you thought about it? Why are you suffering this way? Killing the same door, according to the rules of the hospital, is to be executed. If the wind is clear, the body shape will stop Yi Yuan's way, and sigh. Yi Yuan's face is not moving, but he asks, if the wind is made like this, what would you do? If the wind is clear and speechless, the answer is obvious. Those people are executed because they are not talented. If they have enough potential and have enough strength, I think the college should not kill them. Instead, they will focus on training. Yi Yuan said faintly. Yi Yuan's words are crazy enough, but what he said is taken for granted. Regardless of past lives or this life, Yi Yuan is a top genius who can laugh at the world. He can be hailed as a genius in the gods, and is known as the last person who might break through the realm of medicine. The degree of genius can be imagined. Nowadays, reincarnation is born again. How is a small Qin country placed in his eyes? If the wind is quiet and silent for a while, still nod and say, "It is indeed as you said." In fact, some people have not only been killed, but also trained by the college. 5 years ago, the college had a stunning character, but because the brothers were bullied and smothered, the college not only did not have punishment, but vigorously cultivated it. Oh, that's true. What are you worried about? Is it not that I am worse than him? If the wind shakes his head, he slowly says, because you kill more than one person. A group of garbage only, kill it and kill it. Yi Yuan does not care. Those who dare to move his most cherished must be prepared to be killed. A small Lin Tiancheng, killing and killing, what else? Kona Lin Tiancheng, I have also heard that he is a half-step spiritual environment. Although you are improving rapidly, can you be his opponent? If you win, you can say that. If you lose, some people will not be, so it's easy to let go of you. Yi Yuan shook his head, did not explain anything, but gave the green child a good wind. If you treat me as a friend, help me take care of the green child. I don't know why, if the wind hears this sentence, I feel a little happy in my heart. Yi Yuan Mingming is her student. Is it too strange to be a friend? But why is it so natural? I am your teacher. The wind is clear and the face is clear. Yi Yuan waved his hand and seemed unwilling to entangle on this issue. Helping the green child, I will help her suppress the cold poison in the body, otherwise she may not be able to support it tonight. If the wind is clear, the green child will be righted up, and Yi Yuan will quickly point out more than 10 times on the green child, then raise her palm and let her Yuanli pass. On the Yang Zigang, Yi Yuan's, Lingyang Juyang God, is the martial art to the ultimate practice. Compared with his exercises, the practice of practicing the wind is simply a small witch. Yi Yuan's Yuan Li is very thick, and it is suitable for suppressing Juyin cold poison, but this can only cure the symptoms, but it cannot cure the disease. Juyin Lianshan is a natural 9 negative vein. Once the cold poison breaks out, it will be like an ice-sucking bucket. It will automatically inhale all the coldness in the body, which is quite terrible. Yi Yuan's strength is even stronger, and it is impossible to compare with the chilly power of the whole world. It can only temporarily suppress the cold poison in the green children. As Yi Yuan retracted his palm, Green's face was also rosy for a few minutes, but still unconscious. Green child will be handed over to you, I am going to kill. After that, Yi Yuan turned and left. The people in front of the chores are coming and going, which is a very busy place. Yi Yuan entered the gate but was stopped by 2 students. Which level of students are you? What about the chores? One student asked. They are not seeing anyone, and Yi Yuan is not good at looking at it. He knows that there is a problem at first glance, so he was stopped. Killing. Yi Yuan faintly took out 2 words from his teeth and heard the 2 students behind a cool. Open. What a joke. Danwu College prohibits students from killing privately. Do you want to violate the rules of the hospital? This student is also full of vitality, but in the momentum of Yi Yuan, there are some signs of instability. I have no time to make jokes with you. Where is Lin Tiancheng? Let him come out and die. Lin Shishong, you are not a broken brain. Let's go. We will be welcome if we don't leave. Another person is a little better, and they must drive away Yi Yuan. One of the 6 major arrogance words, actually want to kill a strong man with a half-step spirit, is not the brain is broken. Yi Yuan simply ignored the 2 men and forced them to walk between them. These 2 people are responsible for the gatekeeper. Naturally, it is impossible to let the leaves go far, so they tried their best to stop Yi Yuan. Boom. The palms of the 2 of them had not touched Yi Yuan, and they were shaken out of the Yuan Li, and they automatically opened a road. Although the same as 6, but the gap is too big. Yi Yuan's degree of condensation is several times that of the same realm. How could these two people be Yi Yuan's opponents? Some people want to make trouble, block him. Tell Lin brother. One of the students was also dedicated. After falling to the ground, he shouted loudly despite the pain. The outside movement had already alerted the people inside. Now he shouted, and the chores who just came out knew what happened. An 8-member student stopped Yi Yuan and angered. Who are you? I am so courageous, I don't know where this is, I dare to make trouble here. Yi Yuan simply ignored him and continued to move forward. Court death. The student saw Yi Yuan's unmanned posture, and suddenly became furious and rushed to the top. He wanted to give Yi Yuan a lesson. Yi Yuan waved his hand, and the student flew out and slammed into the wall, stopping the castration. Hiss. Everyone is taking a breath. Yi Yuan Mingming only had the strength of 6 strengths, but he waved his hand and had such a powerful force. He flew out of vitality. Obviously, Yi Yuan has already been merciful, otherwise the 8-pointed student is already a dead man at the moment. The waves are in the palm of your hand. He is Yi Yuan. At this time, someone in the crowd recognized Yi Yuan's palm and immediately guessed Yi Yuan's identity. In Danwu College, there is only one person who can play the waves of the waves at random. That is Yi Yuan. In addition to him, even the master brother Longtang can't do it. Fast, go and report to Lin Shishong, saying that Yi Yuan's chores are causing trouble. We will block him together, I will not believe it, and so many of us can't cope with one vitality. A student who looks like a manager shouted loudly. Sure enough, he said that other people are also excited. Yes, Yi Yuan is only one person, and many of them are all 8-powered. There are still many people who are full of vitality. How can they be so many opponents? Yi Yuan glanced at the crowd and saw that everyone was chilling. You think about it, you have a head debt, I only look for Lin Tiancheng, are you sure you want to be a ghost? Yi Yuan said lightly. Chapter 78 Despicable Lin Tiancheng. The commissar of Danwu College is divided into 3 floors, inner court, middle court and outer court. The outer court is the place where the college receives the work. The middle court is the place where the management of the chores handles affairs, while the inner court is the place where several important people handle affairs. Lin Tiancheng is now in the inner court to arrange affairs for the management. Just what I told you, you have to do it quickly. The new students must strengthen management, let them obey the posts, and let me go directly to the troubles, you are welcome. Lin Tiancheng gave orders to a group of people, and there are some styles of superiors. Yes, Brother Lin, let's do this. After that, several people turned and retired. Hey, a fierce knock on the door sounded. Lin Shishong, the big thing is not good. The big thing is not good. A student outside the door quarreled and provoked Lin Tiancheng to frown. Lin Tiancheng has always been strict with the rules. The following people came in and no one dared to yell, and today someone actually hit the gun. Oh, the door was opened by a management student and angered. What are you talking about? Why don't you know that Lin is being busy? Is it itch and wants to whip? The student ignored him and directly circumvented him to face Lin Tiancheng's crying face. Lin's brother, the big thing is not good. It's called Yi Yuan's, and now he's going outside to make trouble. Whose brother went up to stop him? He slaps and flies. He also said. Lin Tiancheng heard Yi Yuan's name and suddenly looked pale. It seems that he knows that Green is being bullied by Zhang Heng, and that the anger will make a move to make trouble. Thinking of this, Lin Tiancheng sneered aloud. Are you all eating dry rice? A full-fledged force, even scared you into this. That UT is also a waste, even a 4-pronged 1-baked shot. Lin Shishong, Yi Yuan, not only 4. Well, isn't it more than 4? Is it true that he really went to retreat to break through the 5-fold? Also, not a 5-powered one. The student's head shook like a rattle. Seeing his appearance, Lin Tiancheng was furious. Can you talk not to gasp? What is the strength of Yi Yuan? He will not retreat for a few days, then he will be 6-powered. This time, the student's head is the same as the chicken glutinous rice. Yes. Yi Yuan is already 6 years old. What? Including Lin Tiancheng, all the management in the house was shocked. Of course, they know what strength Yi Yuan is. About 10 days ago, Yi Yuan just let Lin Tiancheng fall into the face. At that time, he was still full of vitality. It's only after about 10 days, Yi Yuan has already been 6-powered. The weight of 1 to 3 is jumping. Can you jump from 4 to 6? What happened to the world? The key point is that Yi Yuan has not only improved its realm very fast, but also its strength has also advanced by leaps and bounds. Didn't you listen to the kid just now? He patted Hu Tai to shoot it. Hu Tai is an 8-powerful person. Even if he doesn't fight so much, isn't that Yi Yuan's strength at least? After the shock, Lin Tiancheng's face became gloomy. He did not think that Yi Yuan had such a threat to him so quickly. From this point of view, Zhang Heng is afraid that there will be less fierceness. Hey, one is 6-powered. You are all old school students. Are you still scared by a 6-powerful? Are you a disciple of Danwu College? Go out and tell them, give me together. The 6 vitality can't be restrained. What do they have to do with the chores? Lin Tiancheng shamelessly took the people outside as shields. Lin Tiancheng is not really afraid of Yi Yuan, but can use those outside to consume the fighting power of Yi Yuan. Why not? You think about it. You have a debt. You only have to find Lin Tiancheng. Are you sure you want to be a ghost? Yi Yuan took a step forward, and the students in the chores were photographed by his momentum, and they collectively took a step back. Yi Yuan took another step forward and everyone stepped back again. One of the 6 vitality, even a bunch of students with 7 or 8 strengths forced back. If it is passed out, there is no need for the chores. At this moment, the student who had just sent a letter to Lin Tiancheng rushed back. Mr. Lin said, go up together, take him down and say it. A 6-powerful one, you can't clean up, what do you want? Don't go far, don't do it in the chores. As soon as this statement came out, everyone changed color. Lin Tiancheng said that he would do it, he would really replace these people. Most of these prefecture-level students do not have the hope of advanced grades, so they can make a difference here and get some benefits. If they don't do it here, they may become a coolie. This is obviously the result they don't want to see. Good, I don't believe it. 1 is 6, and so many of us can't clean you up. Everyone is together. Everyone was full of strength and surrounded Yi Yuan's group. Yi Yuan did not stop, let them surround themselves. Finally, these people can't help but shoot Yi Yuan. In front of a sturdy student, a sword stabbed Yi Yuan, and Yi Yuan stretched out a bullet. The long sword immediately flew out. It was a slap, and the singer flew out. At the same time, behind the scenes, Yi Yuan's back seemed to have long eyes, and he slightly hit his side, then his arm went backwards and the man flew out. For a time, all sides were attacking, but no one could really threaten Yi Yuan. Not only did it not threaten, Yi Yuan also made a side-by-side move and saw that he would break through the outer court. I saw only a group of people around Yi Yuan, and people continued to fly out and fell heavily on the ground. In the blink of an eye, Yi Yuan broke through the lines of defense of these people and passed through the outer court. Most of these people are 7-powered and 8-powered. For Yi Yuan, there is no threat at all. The wind is everywhere, it is a morning. The people lying in the outer court were screaming together. Yi Yuan did not stop, provoked a sword in his hand, and he kept walking inside. When I entered the intermediate people's court, a group of people gathered around. These people are basically the management of the chores. Everyone, like Zhang Heng, is a vitality. The vitality of the 9 vitality is the peak of the meta-environment, representing the extreme of the vitality, and the strength is much stronger than the vitality. One person Yi Yuan is still not in the eyes, but this time 7 or 8 people, where is a big force? Yi Yuan looked at them and sneered, you are really a loyal dog. Lin Tiancheng refers to where you are going. I am still saying that I have a debt, I only kill Lin Tiancheng. I want to be a dog. You must be prepared to be beaten. Chapter 79 You don't have a strong heart. Jokes. In Danwu College, no one has ever dared to hang the murder in this way. You really ate the daring leopard. Seeing Yi Yuan as so arrogant, everyone feels very ridiculous. At Danwu College, you can fight, you can also fight for life and death, but no one has ever dared to say that the murder is so eloquent. In their view, Yi Yuan is naturally pretending to use force to repel them. Yi Yuan took a sword flower and said indifference, "If this is the case, then I have no time to talk about it. I have to finish the watchdog and go to the master." After that, Yi Yuan did not hesitate, and the sword got into a few people. The falling flower and the zero sword will come out, and the whole person will become a phantom, and shuttle between several people. These management matters are all vital strengths. Apart from the half-step spirit environment of Tiantian students and Lin Tiancheng, they are almost invincible in Danwu College. But at this moment, they found out sadly that they could not get a piece of clothing from Yi Yuan. Yi Yuan's body is smart and elegant, like a falling flower in the sky, without traces. After all, these management personnel are 9-powered and 3 high-level realms than Yi Yuan. It is not so easy to defeat them. To deal with these people, Yi Yuan can naturally break with the power, but he does not want to expose his cards too early. In the entire college, except when he was killed by Zhang Heng, he was seen by the wind and he saw that he used 8 waves. No one knows that he will be 8 waves. After all, Lin Tiancheng is a half-step spiritual environment. Yi Yuan and him are almost in a big realm. If he let him know his own cards in advance, it is not a good thing. With the falling flowers and the sword against the enemy, it saves both Yuanli and paralyzed opponents. Why not? Although Yi Yuan is now angry, he has not lost his mind. The 2 worlds are human beings. If he does not even have this city, then he will live alone. Falling flowers and floating swords are created by imitating falling flowers. The emphasis is on the wind and the nature, elegant, and it saves energy. Of course, there is no shortcoming in falling flowers and zero swords. The disadvantage is that the attack power is insufficient. However, in this case, Yi Yuan does not need much attack power. He used the ethereal and elegant body method to inflict some harm on these students from time to time. After a long time, their combat power was greatly reduced. "Hey, my arms! Ah, my thigh!" The screams are endless, and unconsciously, these trainees have actually brought a lot of injuries. What kind of monster is this guy? It's so powerful. Stop, stop, we admit defeat. Yeah, stop now, we admit defeat. One person took the lead, and the spirit of others immediately collapsed and quickly surrendered. Breaking through the 6 vitality, it is hard to find an opponent in Yi Yuan's atmosphere. Yi Yuan naturally will not be so mad that he will kill everyone. Seeing these people have the meaning of retreat, he throws away the sword in his hand and walks toward the inner court. Grab a student who was in the inner court and forced him to lead the way. Yi Yuan came to Lin Tiancheng's premises. Yi Yuan opened the door with 1 foot, but the room was empty, and Lin Tiancheng was missing. The back window widened and Lin Tiancheng apparently escaped from here. Yi Yuan sneered aloud, took out a scent of incense, came to the desk and grabbed a book to ignite, igniting the soul into a smoky smoke, going with the wind. The spirits of the warriors are powerful, and the places where they often stay will leave their own soul, and the soul-sending incense can recognize and trace this soul. When a powerful warrior flees, he will hide his soul, so the effect of the soul-sucking incense is not great. Yi Yuan of the previous life just studied it for fun. But Lin Tiancheng obviously does not hide the soul, no matter where he flees. Yi Yuan's performance really surprised Lin Tiancheng, and he was defeated by the fact that he was cut in mead. Although he does not think that Yi Yuan can really defeat him, at least, Yi Yuan has already had the strength to fight with him. Lin Tiancheng is a typical kind of bullying and hardworking person, so he chose to run away. Yi Yuan has already made the worms and dogs jump. As long as the training knows this, he must be dismissed, so he does not have to fight with Yi Yuan to kill you. He is going to go to the back hill to teach him to complain. What a guy with no brains. What about genius? Isn't it because I am playing with Lin Tiancheng? Thought of the triumph, Lin Tiancheng's smile on his face could not be concealed. The proud Lin Tiancheng did not notice that a smoky blue smoke hovered over his head for a few laps and disappeared. The next moment, Lin Tiancheng's smile was stiff on his face, because his front path was blocked, and the person who blocked him was the abominable Yi Yuan. How is this possible? How did he know that I was here? Yi Yuan stood in front of him, his expression was indifferent, and he did not hide his murder. I don't know why. Looking at Yi Yuan's eyes, Lin Tiancheng actually had fear. Yi Yuan, you don't want to force people too much. Do you think I am afraid of you? Lin Tiancheng was furious and wanted to cover up his guilty conscience. Don't you force me. Congratulations, success has angered me. And the price is, your life. Yi Yuan slowly screamed, without feelings. Haha, I really don't know how high. You can't forget, where is this place? Danwu College has never allowed students to kill each other, and the offenders are executed. Do you want to fight against the rules of the court? Lin Tiancheng laughs road. Yi Yuan shook his head and sighed. You really like the guy in the medicine garden, and regard the yard as your amulet. It is because of the existence of the law, you dare to start with the people around me, right? Quote. After listening to Yi Yuan's sigh, Lin Tiancheng suddenly felt a chill rising from the bottom of his heart, and the ominous feeling in his heart could not be lingering. How are you taking Zhongheng? Don't you know the answer? Yi Yuan said faintly, as if doing a trivial thing. Lin Tian imaging as a cat who has been stepped on his tail and exclaimed, You really killed Zhongheng. You dare to kill, are you crazy? You will be executed. Ha ha ha, Yi Yuan, you dead. Yi Yuan sighed again and said, It's really weak. It's a yard rule to open your mouth. No wonder you can't go through the advanced level assessment because you don't have a strong heart. Lin Tiancheng was shocked, and Yi Yuan's words went straight to the soul, exposing his weakest place. What is your chief disciple at the chores? I think it is very beautiful. In fact, it is a weak performance. How many of the students who passed the advanced assessment at the prefecture level are out of the chores? I am going to kill you, but you let the people. I will be a ghost for you, and I will not escape without fighting. I don't even have the courage to fight. Do you want to tell me about the chores? You are a coward. People like you can't be really strong. Bye. Yi Yuan's words are like heavy hammers, hammering and hitting Lin Tiancheng's heart and letting him breathe. Chapter 80 War Forest Tiancheng. You shut me up. It's ridiculous to have a small six-powered person who dares to talk about the strong in front of me. Lin Tiancheng finally couldn't stand it and interrupted Yi Yuan's words. Yes, then what are you afraid of? Come and kill me with this little vitality. Yi Yuan's words are endlessly ironic. Hey, so inferior to the law, I thought I can't see it. Good, I am as you wish today, let you see what is the real powerhouse. After that, Lin Tiancheng's half-step spirit liquid was released, and pressed toward Yi Yuan. Lin Tiancheng is not stupid. His biggest advantage is the realm. Naturally, he should make good use of it. The spirit of the environment can rely on the pressure to make the vitality of the vitality stagnation, and the operation is not smooth. Although he still can't completely release the spiritual pressure from the half-step spirit, he has already had a lot of power. Ling Yi's environment is actually to compress the strength of Dantian to the extreme, to reach the realm of gas accumulation, and it is a sublimation of the body's strength. Therefore, the spiritual environment is far superior to the Yuan dynasty in terms of the quantity and quality of Yuanli. It is very difficult to defeat the spiritual environment with the strength of the Yuan. Either make up the gap in the realm with extremely powerful martial arts, or make up for the gap in strength with the anti-day remedy. But no matter what means, the premise is that this means is enough to make up for the difference in strength between the environment and the spirit environment. The so-called half-step spirit liquid, in fact, is the military in the process of gathering gas into liquid, has already had the strength of some spiritual environment. In the strength of the semi-step spirit, it is enough to crush any martial arts. Lin Tiancheng's talent is actually good. He can break through the spiritual environment early, but for the advanced assessment of the land level, he has always suppressed his strength in the half-step spirit. However, his understanding is still a little worse, and the realm of martial arts has not been able to improve. Therefore, there has been no way to overcome the 5 black-skinned warriors. After all, he is only a half-step spirit, and there is still a big gap with the real spiritual environment. Seeing Lin Tiancheng to deal with him with the pressure of the realm, Yi Yuan's heart sneered. I want to use the realm to press me. Unfortunately, your realm is too low. If the spirit of the liquid environment is more than 3 to deal with him, it is really troublesome. Half-step spirit liquid, it is just itching. At this time, Yi Yuan's body was fully open, and the momentum climbed up straight, and Lin Tiancheng's momentum was topped back. Only a moment of effort, the momentum of the two actually stood up against the court, who cannot help who. This is a noisy place, and a lot of onlookers have gathered here. They saw that Yi Yuan's momentum could even be evenly matched with Lin Tiancheng's momentum, and he could not help but be shocked. No, is that Yi Yuan really just 6-powered? Absolutely, there is nothing wrong with the 6 vitality. He can actually tie the brother of Lin in the realm of the realm. This is too abnormal. As this said that his strength has not lost to half-step spirit. In theory, this should be the case. But this is not to say that although Yi Yuan is only 6 powerful, but the strength of Yuan Li is no less than half-step spirit. Is this too much? Of course, this is not a tier. Yi Yuan's degree of strength is really terrible. Starting from the beginning of the vitality, Yi Yuan's cultivation of energy is several times that of others. With such multiple realms accumulated, Yi Yuan's strength has been considerable, so he can't lose to Lin Tiancheng in the momentum. The strength of Yuan Li is not a large reserve, but it is far superior to the same order in the fine purity of Yuan Li. For example, Yi Yuan and other members of the 6-powered exhibition of the same martial arts, others need a unit of strength, and Yi Yuan only needs 1/3 of the unit, or even 1/5 unit. This is the powerful place of Yi Yuan. Seeing that Yi Yuan did not lose himself in the momentum, Lin Tiancheng's face became extremely ugly. Cannot overwhelm Yi Yuan in the realm, Lin Tian achievements can only be hard with him. However, Yi Yuan will stack up the wave of this metamorphosis of martial arts, a careless but serious injury or even death. At this time, Lin Tiancheng naturally does not naively think that Yi Yuan will scruple what rules. This is a life and death battle. Hey, how strong is the momentum? Let me see today, what is the half-step spirit environment? Thunder Punch. Lin Tiancheng hit a fist to Yi Yuan, and his fist was actually with a silk electric on, which is the first-order martial art that Yi Yuan once saw in the Tibetan Classics Hall, Lei Dongquan. With the first-order martial arts of half-step spirit liquid Qi, the power is terrible. Although this fist is not directed at himself, the onlookers also feel great pressure, not to mention the fact that the front is welcoming. Lin Brothers' thunder boxing is terrible. I am afraid that I have already cultivated into the realm of Dacheng. Yeah, although this punch is not for me, but I am a little breathless now. It is really the best in the land, it is terrible. Yi Yuan is still too reluctant. Lin Shishong is also a half-step spirit, which is so easy to beat. Listen to what they just said, it is actually going to be a life and death battle. What are the deep hatreds between them? Even if they really kill each other, they can't escape the sanctions of the hospital rules. What do you do with so much? If you have a lot of fun, you can't sanction anyway. In the face of Lin Tiancheng's lay martial arts, Yi Yuan also felt the pressure from the face. Half-step spirit is really powerful. Yi Yuan did not choose to face Lin Tiancheng's front, but chose to avoid his edge. Yi Yuan's foot moved, and the flash of light flashed out, and the blink of an eye disappeared, leaving only a residual image in the original place. Lin Tiancheng punches in the air and sees a sneer, the shadows. Hey, the insects are tricky. 7-star steps. I saw that Lin Tiancheng disappeared in the middle of the road. The second-order martial arts 7-star step. Yi Yuan is dangerous. Yeah, the second-order martial arts is too bullying. The audience screamed. The 7-star step is the second-order martial arts, and the flash is only the first-order Chinese martial arts. The gap between the two is too great. Most of the second-order martial arts are motivated by the power of the spirit environment, and the first-order martial arts effect motivated by the elementary environment is naturally different. Even Yi Yuan's flash has surpassed the perfect category and reached a realm of illusion. It is still worse than the second-order martial arts. After all, the level of flash is too low. Yi Yuan showed his body shape and suddenly felt the back extremely dangerous. Not too late to think, he once again cast a flash of light, disappeared in place. However, the sense of crisis did not disappear, but instead entangled him like a skeleton. Yi Yuan knows that Xiao Tiancheng is a little underestimated. The strongest level is not to say that he is playing. His strength is infinitely close to that of the heavenly level. It is much stronger than the ordinary spiritual environment. According to the criteria of the Fantasy Tower assessment, Lin Tiancheng is afraid that he has been able to kill 4 black-clothed warriors, and it is only a trace of fear.